Yes, my people. I am live again, man. Live again. They tried to put me down, but I survive again, and I'm live again. Okay. So today we have something different, something special for you guys, and just want to give God Almighty the praises and the glory. So all praises to the triune God, the God who's above all gods, the God who gives us wisdom to decipher things and to make sense of sensible things and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And as I always say, Islam is nothing but pure nonsense. So I have something, we're going to talk about something today, man. Hello, brother. How are you, man? How are you? God bless you, man. Thank you for being here. And thanks to everyone for being here. Because if you're not here, then I'll be talking to myself. And I have the utmost love and respect for you guys. So what we're going to be talking about today is Sheikh Uthman seems to have this obsession with this guy called Bobby. And we know Bobby have his own channel called Bobby's Perspective. So I see the guy from Bobby's Perspective have a YouTube channel since a few years. Seems he was recruited recently for the Dawa business. Yeah, you see that too. But this guy is not somebody you can trust, and you could see why they recruit him. Why they recruit him. A Satanist will recruit another Satanist, and we're going to look at, as I said before, I've already shown a video and about this guy. We're just going to share that part of the video just to see, so you guys could have an idea who this guy is. Who is Bobby? Who is this guy? And should he be someone that anybody trusts at all? RJ said, Bobby, the hallucinogenic visionary. So my brother already know. RJ already know who Bobby is. RJ already have an idea who Bobby is. Bobby is not the brightest in the bunch. You could see that there's something mentally affecting Bobby. So let's play this video right there. Look what this clown says.
God is beyond all beings. He is not the creation. For me, naturally, instinctively, that is crystal clear. But moreover, as I said, I had psychedelic experiences.
Wow! Did you hear what he says? Did you guys hear what this clown said? That little part of the video, you listen to him again, you will hear what he says. I want you guys to listen to what this clown says, and you will know that you see Uthman is not a clean and decent person. And that's why he's attracted to these kind of character. You see where Uthman is a liar. So, we were going to be attracted to people like these. As drugs. It also could be inherited. Oh, sorry. In the medical field. And we know that it's a man who are addicted to drugs. But would you take advice from a person who is known to be a person who are drug addict? Not me. I would not. I should be advising that person, not that person advising me. If the person kicked their habit, then that's different. But this clown, look at this clown. Look what this clown says.
God is beyond all beings. He is not the creation. For me, naturally, instinctively, that is crystal clear. But moreover, as I said, I had psychedelic experiences.
Wow! Did you hear what he says? I have psychedelic experiences. Did you hear what this clown says? I have psychedelic experiences. Pay attention to this. He said, I have psychedelic experiences. Anybody who look up the word psychedelic, what do you think you will see? Let me look at that word psychedelic for you guys so that you guys could see what psychedelic means. Psychedelic. So, psychedelic are subclass of hallucinogenic drugs. Hallucinogens. I will let you guys see this in a minute because I want you guys to listen to what he's going to say and then show you what a psychedelic is. Psychedelics are subclass of hallucinogenic drugs whose primary effect is to trigger non-ordinary state of consciousness known as psychedelic experience or trips. And we're going to go deeper into this psychedelic thing. But I want you guys to hear the rest of what he says so that you guys can see what a clown this guy is.
Not the creation. For me, naturally, instinctively, that is crystal clear, but moreover,
when it comes to God Almighty, you don't rely on your instinct. When it comes to God Almighty, you rely on what God tells you. What God tells you about himself is what you should rely on when it comes to God. You don't rely on your instinct. Your instinct is not something that you rely on because everybody's instinct is different. My instinct might tell me to do something, and your instinct might tell you to do something different in a certain case, a given situation. In a given situation, one person instinct tell them to run, another person instinct tell them to fight, another person instinct tell them to sit there and quiver. That's what instinct does. And you don't rely on your instinct when it comes to God, because God is the only one who can reveal himself.
As I said, I had psychedelic experiences. I went to the Amazon jungle and I drank the ayahuasca with the...
So he said he went to the Amazon jungle and he drank the ayahuasca. He drank the ayahuasca. And you remember I show you the word ayahuasca. The plant is a plant. It's a hallucinogenic plant. It's a drugs that put you out of your mind. Take you out of your mind. It is one of the most dangerous states that you could ever be in because your mind is so powerful and your mind should never be controlled by any form of substance. Your mind should be alert at all time. The other day I was watching somebody interviewing Kevin Hart and they asked him, someone offer you marijuana, why didn't you take it? He said, no, he wouldn't take it. He said, I have a business partner and my business partner trusts me with everything because I don't smoke marijuana. He says, people who smoke marijuana, they are forgetful. They are forgetful. And it's true. Your brain is not something that you play around with. Because anytime something affects your brain, something could affect your leg, and you'll still be able to help yourself in certain ways. Something could affect your arm, and you'll still be able to help yourself in certain ways. But anytime your brain is affected, anybody could treat you anyway and get away with it. Because how do you know when somebody is abusing you when your brain is messed up? How do you know that somebody is feeding you, caring for you when your brain is messed up? How do you know that somebody loves you when your brain is messed up? How do you know how to worship God, how to love God when your brain is messed up? You can't. But listen to this clown.
Shamans with indigenous people in South America, and I experienced the oneness of God over there as well.
He said he experienced the oneness while he's taking psychedelic drugs with the shaman. He experienced the oneness of God over there. I want you guys to catch that part.
Again, I had to admit, powerful, man, powerful. God is beyond all beings. He is not the creation.
Do you notice that he said he experienced the oneness of God? So literally, he's actually telling you that he experienced Allah while he was taking that hallucinogenic drugs in the Amazon jungle. He experienced Allah while under the influence of a drug, a powerful hallucinogenic drug. He experienced Allah. Because he's not telling us that he experienced our triune God. No, he's telling us that he experienced the oneness of God, the kind of God that Allah is, not the kind of God that our triune God is. Under the influence of a psychedelic drug, a drug that causes you to hallucinate and to have delusions, he experienced the oneness of God. He experienced Allah while he was under the influence of a hallucinogenic drug. Do you see? That's what I want you guys to catch before we go into the real video, because I want you guys to see the kind of person this guy is. And so let me share you some information and what about this drug. You know, I share some information on this drug so that you guys could see foundation. So we're going to go into what psychedelic is, reading from this. So you notice this is a credible source, Alcohol and Drug Foundation. This is not like, oh, I just go to Wikipedia or something and telling you something there. This is the Alcohol and Drug Foundation. This is not just Wikipedia. It is a real source of information that doctors, nurses, whoever is in the medical field, and even regular people can go and find truthful information, not someone lying to you. This is the Alcohol and Drug Foundation. This is not like, oh, this is Wikipedia where everybody could go, anybody could go and edit and change things. This is reality right here. Alcohol and Drug Foundation. Let me see. Okay. All right. So what we see here, psychedelic, also known as hallucinogens, are a class of psychoactive substances that produces changes in perception and mood and cognition, cognitive processes. Psychedelic affect all the senses, altering a person's thinking, sense of time and emotions. They can also cause a person to hallucinate. Notice the last part right here. Seeing or hearing things that do not exist or are distorted. But he says the first time he experienced, he said he also experienced the oneness of God while taking this psychedelic drug. So do you see what happened here? He experienced Allah while he was under the influence of something that can cause hallucination, seeing or hearing things that do not exist or are distorted. And do you notice which drug is number one on the list? Commonly used psychedelic. Look at this. This is the one that he take. So my brother says something about LSD, and you see that LSD is one of those psychedelic that cause these problems. So the guy was taking something that's similar to the date rape drug. LSD is called the date rape drugs. That's what wicked men and wicked women give to people when they want to rape them. This one here. And this one can also be given to you if somebody wants to rape you, because this is powerful drug right here. But this clown is telling us that he was under the influence of a psychedelic drug when he first experienced the oneness of Allah. What a beautiful soul. Do you see what I'm talking about? Look at this. Daniel Alvarez says Megan Fox also took this drug and said she went to hell. But this clown said the first time he experienced Allah is when he was under the influence of this drug. So so my brother said I see the connection now. Isn't this stupid, man? So anyway, let's get into the real video and then we are going to talk about it. And I will pay a lot of attention to the comment because we are going to talk about it. I didn't watch the whole video, so I'm freestyling. I didn't watch the whole thing. So I'll be freestyling in some part of it. So let's get to it. What a catastrophe, man. I don't know what's going on in the world. Do you know what's going on in the world? What's wrong with these boys and girls? Wow. I want you to watch the title of, well, look at the title. Sheikh Uthman in trouble. And do you notice they put the trouble, capitalize the trouble? The reason is, why do you think they capitalize the trouble? Why? They capitalize the trouble because they're trying to gain the attention of people. And one of the reasons you see the Sheikh sticking to this guy is the amount of view he's getting from this guy. If you look at his last couple video about some Christian preacher this and this, he's sticking to this. This is part 3. Do you see that? And they put this trouble like, oh, he's in trouble, and put a question sign beside it. Wow. But anyway, let's go. Let us go.
These books that you see here.
Hold on.
Aside from that, once I started looking into the Quran, when I read the Quran,
I don't want the song part of the stupidity. I hate that song.
Challenge in researching Islam.
Excellent.
Because when I read the Quran, for me it was so external to everything that I witnessed within my life. As I said, I had.
Do you notice what he said? He's lying. Do you see that this guy is a liar? He said he went to Amazon jungle and he took the psychedelic drug with these people, and he experienced the oneness of Allah for the first time. But he said when he read the Quran, it's so external. The Quran tell you about this oneness of Allah according to Islam, which we know that Allah is not one God. We know that Allah is not one God. You know, by it's a cover up. If Allah was one God and want to preach that He is just one God, why is Allah using plural pronouns for himself when that is foreign to the Arabic language? The Quran came and he make a claim that it is a pure it's a religion given in clear Arabic so that the people of the Arabic language can understand it. But you see where Allah came calling himself ourselves, we, us, hears, H-E-I-R-S, and this kind of way of speaking is foreign. You cannot find that historically nowhere in Arabic writing where anyone was speaking in plurality. No one. So that's foreign to Arabic language. The reason is there is something hidden inside the Quran. If you watch, I noticed a lot of people didn't watch that video. I don't know why. If you watch the last video that I make, the last video is a very revealing video. I don't know why people stray away from watching it, but that last video is one of the most revealing video that reveal Islam so much. Like the comments that I got on that video is how informational that video is, but it's the least watched video of all the videos. I'm like, wow, like for real? Why? People are too timid to watch certain things. But on a Christian platform, you will not get anything that's so uncomfortable that you cannot watch it. You know, especially for me, you're not going to get something so uncomfortable that you cannot watch it as a Christian. In order to know what Islam is about, you have to watch and listen to the people who are revealing Islam. But we see that that video got the least view of all the videos that are made so far. For real. On the on this channel, Sheikh, the larger channel, Sheikh. On this channel, you have, of all the videos that are made, this one have the least view. And I wonder why. When this is one of the most revealing, where we show you that according to Islam, the Oris in Jannah are eternal. They are eternal beings without need. And we know that only God is the only being that does not need anything. But we were able to reveal from Islamic sources that these Ors, H-O-O-R-S, in Jannah, in the heaven of Allah, they are eternal and they have no needs. And then we were able to show where Ibn Abbas, Muhammad's cousin, says Surah 21 verse 17 is related to people saying that the interpretation of that verse is that if Allah wants a wife, he could take one from the Ors, H-O-O-R-S, in Jannah. And if Allah is God, how could Allah take a wife from something less than God? If Allah is God in his fullness, how could Allah take a wife from something less than God? So we actually reveal in that video that the Ors, H-O-O-R-S, let me spell it because I don't want people to believe I'm using the word, the W word. The H-O-O-R-S in Jannah are actually gods, goddesses. They're actually goddesses. So you see what I'm saying? So we have a lot to go to today. So let's continue with this video. As we proceed, we will reveal this guy. So here we go.
Negative experiences with Muslims, I would have never expected the Quran to say what it says. I didn't expect the Quran to even speak about the worship of one God, believe it or not. That was the biggest surprise to me personally.
He said he did not know that the Quran would say the worship of one God. But as I was showing you, the Quran is not about the worship of no one God. According to Uthman claimed that he is Hadith expert. But you see where Uthman make up his own Hadith. You remember God Logic versus Uthman make his own Hadith. You know, but we see that in Islam, it's nothing about worship of one God. There are many gods hidden in Islam, and we show you how we can arrive at these things. How we can arrive at these things. How can we come to this conclusion is by adding up the information that we are given. We are not just going to take things at face value. We need to add up the information that we are given. So let me show you something right here. While he's talking about one God, we are going to share some information with you guys, because Islam is not about one God. Islam is about many gods. Many gods. Look at this. Look at this right here. This is Sahih al-Bukhari 4376 and 4377. Narrated Abu Raja al-Utaridi. We used to worship stones, and when we found a better stone than the first one, we would throw the first one and take the latter. But if we could not get a stone, then we would collect some earth, i.e. soil, and then bring a sheep and milk that sheep over it and perform the tawaf around it. Do you see that? Isn't it similar to what the Muslims are doing, performing a tawaf around a stone? Isn't it similar? It is similar. And notice what he says here. We used to worship stones. So Islam is a stone worshiping religion. And notice how much important stone was. And so the God of Islam, quote unquote, God of Islam, know how much important stone worship was to the people. And he came and he did not abolish it. He did not abolish it. Watch this, how important it was. If we could not get a stone, they would make a stone themselves and then worship the stone. If they could not get a stone, they would make one themselves and then worship it. And then look how crazy it is that there was a time when a man came to Mecca and he destroyed the Kaaba and he stole the stone. And he broke the stone. When the stone was brought back, it broke into 3 pieces. I think 3 pieces, I heard. And now these people put the stone together just like they used to and continue to worship the stone. And then these Muslims will say that, no, we weren't worshiping stone. A drug addict will say that they are not an addict. A sex fiend will say that they are not a sex fiend. Crazy people will tell you that they are not crazy. It's what you do, your action, that shows that you're worshiping stone. What you do in your action that shows that you're worshiping stone. Watch this. Watch this. Do you see what Deuteronomy? Can everybody see this? Let me make sure that you guys are seeing, because this is all this group, and let me get out of this. Yeah, so some of these sites wanted to buy stuff. I ain't got time for that stuff. Let me see one more time. Come up again, then we get up. So if you look here, what the Most High says here, oh, there goes again. Some of these sites just want you to do this and pay money. But anyway, let's do this one. This one is a real one. Okay. So what do we see here? What we see here, do not erect a sacred stone, for these the Lord your God ate. Do you see that? This is Deuteronomy 16:22. So at the end of the day, here's the God of the Bible. He's telling you, don't erect a sacred stone. These Muslims claim that it is Allah who erect the stone in Mecca, and Abraham and Ishmael built the Kaaba. No proof, no historical proof, all fabrication and conjecture. No historical proof whatsoever, just fabrication and lies. So let's continue with this video. So you see what he says. He's telling you, my brothers and sisters, hit the like button while you're at it, you know, to get people more. It changed the algorithm when you hit the like button. So thank you for that. So anyway, let's get back to the video, and we'll show you that this guy is actually didn't analyze Islam, didn't do a deep analysis of Islam. He's just making shallow speech.
Personally, aside from that, once I started looking into the Quran, I found that Islam doesn't have only the Quran, but it has hadiths as well, right?
Yes. Yes.
And since the Quran is the word of God, and I know you heard this question a million times before, but nevertheless, for me personally, it's still so strange that then I would need hadiths.
And do you remember God Logic came on the podcast on the last video I think the last video we have, and he actually told us that there is, I haven't looked it up yet, there is nowhere in the Quran that says the Quran is the word of Allah. But we know in the Quran, it two places, two verses, it says it is the word of a noble messenger. But we'll never see that according to God Logic, and I totally believe the brother, you know, I haven't researched it yet. Nowhere in the Quran says the Quran is the word of Allah. And if you read Surah 1, nowhere can you see anybody with a right mind say that came from, that is God, Allah speaking. It have to be someone else speaking. If you read it, it have to be someone else speaking. So we know when this guy is he's just mimicking what he heard. And, you know, a person like this guy is easy to be brainwashed, because if you allow something to get to your mind to the point where you started hallucinating, then you are easy to be brainwashed. Your mind is the most powerful thing you have. I've seen sick people lying in their bed. Their legs cannot move. Their arms cannot move. Their body cannot move unless you move it. But guess what? Their brain is kicking. And when you walk into that room and they say to you, because I am a nurse, and when you walk into that room and that person says, my forehead itch, or can I get this? Can you do this for me? It's the most powerful experience, because what? Even though the body is not functioning, that brain is still kicking to the point where that brain can tell you to do something. That person could tell you things like, I need to be turned. I think I am this. I think I am that. It is powerful. Your mind is the most powerful thing. If you have your mind and your mouth is functioning, it is very hard for people to abuse you and get away with it unless you are alone with that person at all time. Because you could cry for help when someone new come around other than your abuser. But you allow your mind to get to the point where this clown allow his mind to get the first time he experienced Allah is when he was under hallucinogen. And we know that Muhammad, the case of Muhammad is similar. Muhammad was hallucinating. The case of Muhammad is a similar thing. Aisha revealed to us that Muhammad used to imagine he had done things which in fact he did not do. Aisha told us that Muhammad used to imagine things. We see where Muhammad came to Aisha and said, Gabriel, say hi. And Aisha looked and said, you see what I don't see. But then there was a case where Muhammad have a man in Aisha's house. A man in Aisha's house. And when Aisha query who this man is, guess what Muhammad said? This is Angel Gabriel. Angel Gabriel could not show himself to Aisha when he was greeting Aisha. But when Muhammad have a man in Aisha's house, Muhammad could say in his defense, this is Angel Gabriel. And we know and we heard of when Muhammad was telling people to throw the homosexual out of their homes. Muhammad himself was throwing homosexual out of his own home. Do you see the Prophet of Islam? Do you see the Prophet of Islam? This is the man that these people trust in
order to complement it, right? And I heard that you are into Hadith science.
Yes,
or you have a master's
I have a master's in Hadith.
So he asked Uthman, I heard that you are in Hadith science. Uthman is a Hadith creator. Do you guys remember when Uthman take a footnote in order to trick God logic? Uthman take a footnote of a Hadith and copy it and paste it into the Hadith. Uthman is a Hadith creator. Uthman is not. Uthman is a scientist in Hadith. He's his own scientist when it comes to Hadith.
Hadith and these books that you see here, these are all Hadith books. So we have the whole section here is on Hadith. Yes.
So my basic question is, what is the importance of Hadiths? That's basically
excellent question. So when we see a verse from the Quran, we know many people today will want to misuse that verse, right?
Okay.
The verse will be explicit. For example, the verse about to prepare the seeds of war against your enemy, but if they incline towards peace, then incline towards peace, right? What Islamophobes do is they'll cut off the next verse, or they'll cut out that context. And interestingly, it's the Khawarij or the extremists amongst the Muslims who do the same thing. They will take that verse out of context, and the Islamophobes, the anti-Islam people will do the exact same thing. They kind of come together on that misuse of the Quran. So what do? They'll take that verse out of context, and then they will use it where it should not be, right? So here, this is the beautiful thing about Hadith. And I'll explain a little bit about Hadith first. I'll just tell you what's the point. It gives you that context.
Do you ever notice what he did? He go into the Quran and he says, if they incline towards peace, then incline towards peace. What people like Uthman will not tell you is that the Quran speak with two mouths. They will never tell you that the Quran speak with two mouths. The Hadith speak with two mouths. They will never tell you that the double mouth of Muhammad, the two mouth of Muhammad, the mouth that make things look good, and then the mouth that make things look bad. He says, if they incline towards peace, then you incline toward peace. And then you will see Uthman himself. I actually have a video where Uthman himself is speaking about Jihad jihad, offensive jihad, jihad at Allah. He's speaking about that. So somebody inclined towards peace and you incline towards peace, how is offensive jihad how can Muslim practice offensive jihad if someone inclined towards peace and you incline towards peace? Now, how do you interpret that in line of the Quran? Uthman confessed that he believed in offensive jihad. And we know that offensive jihad is actually where a Muslim could go to another country and conquer that country in order to spread Islam. In order to spread Islam, you go and push and conquer lands. So that's offensive jihad. People are not fighting against you, but you are fighting against them. Defensive jihad is when you defend against your attack of someone. Offensive jihad is when you are attacking people. So if you notice, he says there's a verse in the Quran that said if they incline towards peace, then you incline towards peace. But as I say, Muhammad and his Quran is spoken from two different mouths. One mouth, you read it and you feel like, okay, it's okay. And if you notice what Uthman says, he says the extremists will take this and this. But that, it doesn't make sense. There is no extremists in Islam. That's what Uthman will never tell you. It doesn't make sense. There is no extremists in Islam. None whatsoever. If you believe in, Uthman is an extremist. You know why we can say that? If you believe in offensive jihad, what is offensive jihad? What is offensive jihad? Offensive jihad, as I say, and can prove, is when Muslim attack a adjacent country, another country, for just the purpose of spreading Islam. But Uthman is telling you, let's go back a little bit and see what Uthman says.
Many people today will want to misuse that verse, right?
Okay.
The verse will be
strange that then I would need hadiths in order to complement it, right? And I heard that you are into hadith sciences.
Yes,
or you have a master's
I have a master's in hadith, and these books that you see here, these are all hadith books. So we have the whole section here is on hadith. Yes.
So my basic question is, what is the importance of hadiths? That's basically
excellent question. So when we see a verse from the Quran, we know many people today will want to misuse that verse, right?
Okay.
So he said many people will want to misuse a verse from the Quran.
The verse will be explicit. For example, the verse about to prepare the seeds of war against your enemy, but if they incline towards peace, then incline towards peace, right?
So if they incline towards peace, then prepare the seed of war for your enemy. But if they incline towards peace, then you incline towards peace. The question to this clown, because he believes in offensive jihad, I've made videos on this before, and I can provide proof for this, that he believes in offensive jihad. Even though he lied before that he don't believe it. He lied to David Wood that he did not believe in offensive jihad. And then he was caught on a video telling his fellow Muslim that he believed in offensive jihad. He lied to David Wood and said that he was not the one who made the tweet, and then confessed in a video that he's the one who made the tweet, because this guy is a liar. And what we see is, a matter of fact, I'm going to show a part of that just for clarity on that. But what we see, he's saying that there is a verse in the Quran that says, prepare the seed for war or whatever. Prepare the seed for your enemy. But if they incline to war, the seed of war for your enemy. But if they incline to war, incline to war. And if they incline to peace, then you incline to peace. But offensive jihad does not make room for that kind of verse. So you see that Muhammad was speaking with two mouths. And if you notice Surah 9, verse 29. If you look at Surah 9, verse 29, what it says, you will see the different. You see that have nothing to do with inclined to peace and inclined to war. Let's just read that verse real fast, and we'll show you that people don't have to incline to nothing in order to let's just look at it. Let's just read it real fast, and I will show you that it's nothing about no incline to anything. Have nothing to do with inclining to anything whatsoever. It's just about Muslim violating people who don't believe in them. So let me actually share the verse so that you guys could see, even though every Christian who know about Islam should know this verse. So this is Surah 29, Surah 9 verse 29, sorry, Surah 9 verse 29. It says, fight those who do not believe in Allah or the last days, and who do not consider unlawful what Allah and his messenger have made unlawful, and who do not adopt the religion of truth. So you see, the reason to fight these people is what? The reason to fight these people is what? The people, they don't believe in the last days. They don't consider unlawful what Allah and his messenger had made unlawful, and they don't adopt the religion of truth. So fight the people who do not adopt Islam. In order to consider unlawful what Allah and his messenger had made unlawful, you must be a Muslim. And you say, it's a fight until they give the jizya. You fight until they give the jizya willingly while they are humbled. And notice this. It's talking about fighting Christians. So the people you're fighting is from those who were given the scriptures, Jews and Christians. And if you go down to some other translation, it will tell you even more. Like this translation right here, we tell you even more. It's a fight against those who believe not in Allah, nor in the last days, nor forbid that which has been forbidden by Allah and his messenger, and those who acknowledge not the religion of truth, i.e. Islam, among the people of the scripture, Jews and Christian, until they paid. So you see, there is no, if they want peace, because a Christian could want peace and yet still be fought because they don't believe in Muhammad and his craziness. And this is why you see Muslims are attacking Christians in Egypt and killing Christians in Egypt and other places, because they have the Quran endorsement. They have the Quran endorsement to fight these people, to kill these people. We see where Muhammad himself, in the Hadith, this guy said he's a Hadith specialist. So I would like him to tell us a little bit about this Hadith, you know, where Muhammad go to the Jews and says, I want to expel you from this land. What was the reason? What was the reason? So we have narrated Abu Hurairah, while we were in the mosque, the Prophet came out and said, let us go to the Jews. We went and we reached Beit al-Madras. He said to them, if you embrace Islam, you will be safe. Safe from who? From himself. You should know that the earth belongs to Allah and his apostle, and I want to expel you from this land. So you see, the Quran, he is not representing the Quran right. Uthman is not representing the Quran right. I am representing the Quran right. I am representing the Quran right, because we are using the Hadith to tie in with the Quran to show what the kind of person we were dealing with when we were dealing with Muhammad. Muhammad wanted to exile the Jews, and the only way they could save themselves from being exiled is if they embrace Islam. So there is nothing about if they incline to peace, then you incline to peace. No, because there is two kinds of war that Muhammad used to fight: offensive jihad and defensive jihad. Offensive jihad is when you are attacking a person who does not attack you. You're attacking them because you want them to accept Islam. Uthman claimed he believed in this. So Uthman is a liar, and we all know that. Uthman is a liar. Uthman is just a notorious liar. Notorious liar. So we are going to get a little further. Let's get out of this. So let me quickly share this hadith that we just read from, so that they can't say we are lying. It's enough. Share it just like that. They can steal the video and look and see, narrated, and it is Al-Bukhari 3167. So we share information here. Now we are going to go back. So as we see so far, Uthman is a fabricator of hadith. If Uthman was what Uthman is a fabricator of hadith, and you cannot trust Uthman at all. Nothing Uthman say, you cannot trust it. So it's two clowns coming together discussing a clownish religion.
What Islamophobes do is they'll cut off the next verse, or they'll cut out that context. And interestingly,
do you notice he says what Islamophobe do? But notice what he's going to say after that.
It's the Khawarij, or the extremists amongst the Muslims, who do the same thing.
Right. So are they Islamophobe? It's extremists. And then look at his crooked laugh. Because the people we call extremists, they understand what Islam is about. Muhammad say war is deception. Let me show you that. Muhammad say war is deception. So in the Quran, when the Quran is telling you these things about if they incline to peace, then incline to peace, that's also deception. Because in war, you're fighting against somebody, and the person all of a sudden say, I incline to peace, and then you say you incline to peace. That is deception. And also, we have information, I don't know if it was a hadith that I read it from, that says that Muslim does not have to keep their what you call it. If a Muslim make a covenant with a non-Muslim, they don't have to keep their covenant. They don't have to keep their covenant. So at the end of the day, if you make a pact with a non-Muslim, you don't have to keep it. You don't have to keep it. And this is why you see that Muslim the other day says he doesn't owe a non-Muslim no apology. No apology. He says Muslim do not owe non-Muslim apologies. Don't care what they do to a non-Muslim, they owe them no apology at all. And so we're going to share this really just to show you. So these Muslims that he call extremists they are not extremists, they are real Muslims. They are just practicing Islam. So here we go. We're going to show you where Muhammad say war is deception. So if war is deception, then Allah can deceive. So when he say incline to peace, Allah, it can be taken another way around, because you're deceiving the people that you are at war with. So if they incline to peace, then you incline to peace, then it can be deceptive. So you see that? War is deception. And it's a hadith, but look at this. Jibir reported the apostle of Allah as saying war is deception. Sunan Abu Dawud 26:36. Do you see that? And this is Miskat al-Masabin 39:39. War, Muhammad say war is deception. And this also can be found in Bukhari and Muslim. You see where they put that, you know that it can be found elsewhere. Abu Huraira, notice two different companions. Abu Huraira and Jibir, may Allah be pleased with them, reported the Prophet P whatever said, war is deception. Bukhari and Muslim. And this is Riyad as what was it? Salihin 1352. Man, I and these Arabic words. But you guys can read it yourself. We don't give falsehood here. Right here. Sunan Abu Dawud. War is deception. When the Prophet intended to go on an expedition, he always pretended to be going somewhere else. So do you see that? He pretended as if he was going somewhere else when he's going to war. So it's the same way you could pretend to incline to peace and when you're not inclining to peace. Abu Dawud said only Manar has transmitted this tradition, but this he referred to his statement, war is deception, to the change of narrator. So you see that war is deception. War is deception, Muhammad. War is deception. So if war is deception, this is if you're reading from the Hadith, what Allah says, then you could say, hey, they incline to peace. I would pretend as if I incline to peace, and then I destroy them, because war is deception. Do you see? Okay, let's see what this Muslim is saying here. There's a Muslim here. Islam dies without terrorism and lies. That's my brother. He's not a Muslim. You're right. Islam is spread by terrorism and lies. And it is true. Islam is spread by terrorism and lies. You can deceive your enemies. So, okay, so let's continue now and hit the like button. Hit the like button, my brothers and sisters. Hit the like button. So let's get back to this Muslim, and we should show you that so far what you got from Uthman, nothing at all. Pointing his finger elsewhere when he believed exactly what these people believe, the extremists believe. Because he believed in Jihad at-Talab, which is offensive jihad.
They will take that verse out of context, and the Islamophobes, the anti-Islam people will do the exact same thing. They kind of come together.
So why is it that Muslim and anti-Islam are doing the same thing? Why? Because these people are seeing the Quran and the Hadith for what it is, but Uthman is a liar. Just like Uthman fabricates stuff, he's fabricating lies right now. Because I could show you where Uthman Ibn Farooq tell us that he believes in offensive jihad. And offensive jihad is mean to attack people who are inclined to peace with you. They are not warring at all with you, but you attack them. And I could show you where Uthman believe in that, you know? A matter of fact, let's show it, because we're just going to show what Uthman is about, the kind of person Uthman is about, you know? So I could go right here. It's not hard to find. It's not hard to find these things. I could go right here, this here, and we go to this search right here. And all I got to do is put his name in, and in no time, we are going to find Uthman footnote stuff. Okay, so I think this one will show it. So let me go up the line and see if we can find this in here. And this video got so much to the point where it actually have him fabricating it talks about his fabrication of the Hadith. Okay, that's the one with him fabricating the Hadith. So let me see if this one have it. It might have it. Uthman. So we look at offensive jihad and what offensive jihad is about. We see where Uthman believe in offensive jihad. And if you believe in offensive jihad, there's no way you can actually understand that verse as saying, just merely saying that if a person inclined to peace, you incline to peace. If you understand offensive jihad, because offensive jihad means that you attack your enemy. You attack people who are not your enemies. That's what offensive jihad means. You could go and attack people who are not your enemies. That's what it means. You know, so I don't know how Uthman. Okay, this one here. Let's see if this one have it. Uthman is just, Uthman is a very dangerous man. Very, very dangerous person. And not to be taken, he's not to be taken lightly in his deception. Very, very dangerous person. Very, when I say very dangerous, he's very, very dangerous. I don't know. I got it all over. All over, but when you want to find it, it's difficult to find. But anyway, Uthman, let me find that. I want to find it because we want to share information that is supported. So, Uthman is not the kind of guy that you can trust at all. Cannot trust him. He is a dangerous person. Dangerous person. Dangerous person, that Uthman Ibn Farooq, man. A dangerous guy. Let's see right here. Very dangerous guy. Even the stabbing of Uthman. Stabbing of Uthman. Who can prove that Uthman was stabbed? Nobody can prove that Uthman was stabbed. Can't prove. Cannot prove that Uthman was stabbed. Because this is what he do. That's what he does. That's what he does. He lies a lot. He don't care about telling people the truth at all. Uthman is just a liar. So I don't know why I can't find that. Let me see. Why I can find that. That's something that I easily find. Easily find when I want it, but now I can't find it. It's crazy. Cannot find it. But just I'll show you. I just want to show you the kind of person you're dealing with when you're dealing with Uthman. He's not the kind of guy that he will lie to you over and over and over. Over and over and over. He's not that kind of guy that you can say, oh, you know what? Let's believe what he says. But I can't find it. But I will show you what. In the meantime, I'll show you what Jihad. Just a clippet of Jihad. Just a clip of what Jihad is and the kind of Jihad that Uthman believes in. This is the kind of Jihad that Uthman believes in. But he will want to tell you that verse that he just read, means that you can be peaceful to your enemy if your enemy is peaceful with you. But that's not what it means. It literally, that's not what it means. It can be taken that way and it can be taken another way because Islam believes in deception. Islam believes in deception, so it can be taken one way or the other. One way or the other. It can be taken one way or the other. So let's play this clip just to, but I know that Uthman believes in offensive jihad. I know that for a fact that he believes in offensive jihad. So the verse that he read to you is a deceptive verse. So let's just show this guy, but just to show you what offensive jihad mean for the people who didn't know.
Is strong. If you don't have a, and this jihad was at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. But this jihad cannot be accomplished.
Hold on.
Pursuing, running, everyone trying to hide.
Hold on.
Jihad found at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and it's found until today. The other type of jihad is the one that everyone trying to hide. And it's called jihad.
So the problem is, the verse says, if your enemy is inclined to peace, then you incline to peace. But you're going to hear something that this Muslim Sheikh, who is a scholar, Asim Al-Hakim, says that will make you know that the Quran is a book of deception. Because if someone is inclined to peace, this kind of war could never be possible. Listen to this.
Jihad al-talab. And this means that the jihad of pursuing, running after. And
listen, he's not talking about running after your enemy. Listen to him. He's not talking about running after your enemy. He's actually talking about pursuing people who are not your enemy, who are not trying to hurt you, are not trying to harm you. Listen to this.
jihad was at the time of the Prophet ﷺ.
And do you notice what he said? This jihad was at the time of the Prophet. That means Muhammad was practicing this kind of behavior where he was attacking people who did not attack him.
But this jihad cannot be accomplished, cannot take place unless the state of the Muslims is strong.
So the only way a Muslim can do this is if they are strong. But what you must realize is that they are Muslims who are not strong. They are not really strong, but because they're in their mind, they believe that they are strong. And when you have like ISIS, you have like Boko Haram, you have like Al Qaeda and all these, and even the Taliban itself, you know, they believe that they are strong to the point where they will make certain decisions and do certain things. In time past, Uthman would call the Taliban extremists. In time past, Uthman would call the Taliban extremists. When if you ask Uthman in the past, is the Taliban extremist? He would tell you yes. If you ask him now if the Taliban is extremist, I bet he would tell you no. I bet he wouldn't tell you straight up front, yes. But look at what the Taliban is doing to women over there in Afghanistan. Look at the life that women are living in Afghanistan, and you will see what kind of people the Taliban are. And the crazy thing about it is this: the verse of the Quran says, if they incline to peace, then you should incline to peace. But how do you interpret that? How do you interpret that? Somebody inclining to peace. You're attacking somebody's country and they incline to peace. How would they incline to peace? According to Islam, how would they incline to peace? This man will tell you how they can incline to peace. Listen to this.
You don't have a strong Muslim country, who can they pursue or attack? No, stay.
Notice what he says. Who can they pursue or attack? These people are not attacking them. Islam is doing the attack. And as I say, this is the beautiful question, the most important question in all this right here is the Quran verse says, if they incline to peace, you incline to peace. But in a situation of offensive jihad, how can the people being attacked by Muslim incline to peace? This man will tell you.
Where you are, just try to fix yourself, enrich your people with Islamic knowledge and Iman, then you can go. And what is the reason behind such jihad? Number one, to call them to Islam. It's
do you see that? The only reason you are attacking these people is to call them to Islam. And did you see what I showed you the Hadith earlier, where Muhammad go to the Jew and was telling the Jews that he will exile them? If the only way he will not exile them is if they embrace Islam or they sell what they have and run. Do you see that? So these Muslims will tell you these stupid lies that every time Muhammad go to war are fighting people, is the people who attack him first. That's a lie. You heard it from this man. He said this kind of jihad was practiced at the time of Muhammad. Islam is a religion of wickedness and a religion of we are superior, follow us. That's what Islam is about. And this is why the Muslim guy, Muhammad Ali from Speaker's Corner, he said, we owe no non-Muslim an apology, because Muslim in the right sense believe that they are above all creation. They are above all people, because in the Quran call in Surah, what's that, 98 verse 6, the Quran call us the worst of creatures. the worst of creatures. So if you are the worst of creature, how do you owe anyone any apology? If people are the worst of creature, you don't owe the worst of creature any apology. Why would you think that you are obligated to apologize to the worst of creature? I would like to know that. Why do you think that people are obligated to apologize to the worst of creature? They are not obligated to apologize to the worst of creature. You are not at all. But let's look at what he says just to verify that Uthman is lying about the Quran verse.
Da'wah. The jihad is only for da'wah. That is why when Muslims go and
the jihad is only for spreading Islam. Dawah means spreading Islam. Dawah means calling people to Islam. So you attack their country to call them to Islam. Listen what he's gonna say right here.
That is why when Muslims go and conquer the adjacent country, what do? We kill them all? No. The Prophet says the first thing you do is call them to Islam.
So you go and attack, you conquer an adjacent country. And what's the reason for doing that? Is for dawah, to spread Islam. Not because these people are your enemy and bothering you, but to spread Islam.
If they accept it, leave them.
Oh, do you hear what he says? If they accept Islam, then you leave them. So that's how they incline to peace. Do you see how you understand the Hadith? That's how you understand the Hadith. You understand the Hadith and you understand Islam by reading the Hadith, by what this Sheikh is doing, not by what Uthman is doing. Uthman is a liar. Uthman is a dumb, logger-headed liar, a stupid clown who need to go sit down until pigs fly. Idiot. That guy is an idiot. I'm telling you. And when two idiots come around, you see the first part of the video where I reveal that Bobby's perspective is an idiot who used to take hallucinogenic drugs. And he said the first time he experienced Allah is when he was high on the hallucinogenic drugs. Something that causes you to hallucinate. Hallucinate, you have two forms of hallucination. Auditory hallucination when you are hearing things. And visual hallucination where you are seeing things. So he said the first time he experienced Allah, the oneness of God, meaning Allah, because he didn't experience our God, the triune God. He experienced Allah while he was high and drugs. And Uthman is high and lies. Satan sleeping Uthman knows, close to his brain, and this is why he talks so much stupidity. This guy, he don't owe us any obligation to lie to us, this guy right here, because you know where he's speaking from? I think this guy lives in, as far as I recall, this guy lives the same place where Zakir Naik live, I think. This guy live. This guy doesn't live where he believe where he have to be like us. Uthman lying to people in the Western countries. So you hear what the man says. If they incline to peace, after you conquer their country, if they incline to peace, then you incline to peace. And how can they incline to peace? By accepting Islam, or notice what he says.
If they accept it, leave them. Khalas, they're Muslims. We go.
But notice he said we go. No, you don't go, because Sharia law take over. So even him have a little deception in him. But listen.
We don't want your country. We don't want your land. We don't want your wealth. If they refuse.
Notice he said we don't want your country. But their country become an Islamic country under Islamic rule. So yes, they want your country. Yes, they do want your country. But notice what he said. If they refuse, what happened?
Then tell them Allah obliged upon you to pay taxation.
So Allah obliged for them to pay the jizya. Do you remember the verse that I read? You remember the verse that I read? So this is how you understand the Quran. This guy, Uthman, is a dumb clown. Surah 9, verse 29 say exactly what this guy said. Fight those who do not believe in Allah and the last days, and who do not consider lawful what Allah and his messenger had made unlawful, and who do not adopt the religion of truth from those who are given the scripture. Fight it until they pay the jizya willingly while they are humbled. And some of the translator says, until they pay the tribute readily, being brought low. That means you're actually humiliating people. By paying the jizya is a form of humiliation. So do you see? Two so-called Muslim sheikh, and only one of them telling the truth. So who would you believe, people? If you're going to believe, who would you believe? Let me see what my people are saying. Let me see what we are saying. I know there's a Muslim here, Dawa Ali, Dawood Ali. And getting in some of this discussion. God bless you, Upper Frenzy. God bless you. Darcy Campbell, God bless you. So you see, it's what I'm saying. They will never tell you the truth. Look at this guy. He says Bobby is a smart Christian. Bobby was never a Christian, you dumb clown. Bobby was never a Christian. Christian don't go about taking hallucinogen. Bobby is a dumb idiot. Bobby is one of the dumbest idiots you could find. Going about taking hallucinogen and said the first time he experienced let me go back over the part so that you guys could see the idiot that this guy is calling Bobby. The dumb clown, how dumb of an idiot Bobby is. Let me show you how dumb Bobby is. Show you how dumb this clown they call Bobby is. That's what instinct does. And you don't rely on your instinct when it comes to God, because God is the only one who can reveal himself. So Bobby says his instinct tell him about God. What Christians follow their instinct when they're dealing with God? Christians follow the scripture revealed to them. Christians don't follow their instinct. Bobby is following his instinct, and that's why he got into trouble, where he ended up taking drugs and claimed that the first time he experienced your stupid God, Dawood, this idiot said the first time he experienced your God is when he was high. Listen to this.
Over, as I said, I had psychedelic experiences. I went to the Amazon jungle and I drank the ayahuasca with the.
So he said he went to the Amazon jungle and he drank the ayahuasca. He drank the ayahuasca. And you remember I show you the word ayahuasca. The plant is a plant. It's a hallucinogenic plant. It's a drugs that put you out of your mind. Take you out of your mind. It is one of the most dangerous states that you could ever be in, because your mind is so powerful, and your mind should never be controlled by any form of substance. Your mind should be alert at all time. The other day I was watching somebody interviewing Kevin Hart, and they asked him, someone offer you marijuana, why didn't you take it? He said no, he wouldn't take it. He said, I have a business partner, and my business partner trusts me with everything because I don't smoke marijuana. He says people who smoke marijuana, they are forgetful. They are forgetful. And it's true. Your brain is not something that you play around with. Because anytime something affects your brain, something could affect your leg, and you'll still be able to help yourself in certain ways. Something could affect your arm, and you still be able to help yourself in certain ways. But anytime your brain is affected, anybody could treat you anyway. I just want to show you what Inky Finger says. Uthman never opened any of the books behind him to read. He is a big liar. And I agree with her. You know why I agree with her? Because we have proof of this. Uthman came to the brother Anthony to lie to the brother Anthony about the Mushaf of Uthman. And he didn't even open the book to see that the book is what the book was telling him, that is not the actual Mushaf of Uthman. This is how unintelligent and stupid this clown is. And Bobby is just another stupid clown like Uthman. But Bobby is not far from stupidity. He is just as stupid as the clown he is questioning and get away with it. Because how do you know when somebody is abusing you when your brain is messed up? How do you know that somebody is feeding you, caring for you when your brain is messed up? How do you know that somebody loves you when your brain is messed up? How do you know how to worship God, how to love God when your brain is messed up? You can't. So how is he a Muslim? How is he a Christian? He's a Muslim. He was a Muslim from the beginning, you clown. Dawood Ali, this idiot Bobby was a Muslim from the beginning. Listen to what he says and see if you can hear a Christian saying these nonsense. But listen to this clown.
Shamans with indigenous people in South America, and I experienced the oneness of God over there as well.
So he experienced the oneness of God while he experienced your God. Because when he's talking about the oneness of God, he's not talking about the triune God. He experienced your God while he was hallucinating, while he was taking hallucinogen. Let me show you what hallucinogen is. This is what he was taking. And what is the commonly used psychedelics. This is what he was taking. This is what he was taking. And do you see what is on this list? LSD, the date rape drugs. And this is the one that your other brother, Mike Tyson, take. Mike Tyson like to eat these. And watch this, you stupid clown. Do you see that? Look at this wheel. Look what it does. Here is the one that he take. Here is the one that he take. Increase body temperature. This is what it does to you. Increase your body temperature. Loss of coordination. Make you staggering like a drunk person. Hallucination, just like your prophet. Distort perception, just like your prophet. You know why? Because the baby wife of your prophet says that your prophet used to imagine he had done things which in fact he did not do. Disorganized thought, which is also delusion, just like your prophet, imagining that he do things that he did not do. Anxiety and paranoia. Your prophet was so paranoid that he was killing poets and killing all kind of people around him. Do you see? I told you clowns to stop coming here making noise, man. Didn't I tell you not to come here making any noise? You come here to learn. Sit down and learn. If you have something, a good question to ask, then you ask it. The moment you start barking like a dog, I'm going to muzzle you like Sam Shamoun. Do you see? Talking about Bobby was a Christian. Bobby was a what Christian? Boy, go drink some camel urine and stop the noise. So, they said Uthman was a very big liar. He says one thing and later on deny his claim, which is very true. That's the video that I was trying to find would prove this, that he would say one thing and then deny it. But Uthman believed in offensive jihad, But you see the verse that he's trying to quote, and then trying to put his Muslim brothers down and equate them with Islamophobe, is showing that this idiot is nothing but a donkey. Uthman is nothing but a stupid clown. I don't know what this donkey talking about. Fake info. What he's talking about. What fake info? And then he said, add on info for self-interest. What is add on? What is it? What is this clown talking about? You know, if you see me say something, then you point out what I say instead of ranting like your prophet. Your prophet was a clown, man, so you acted like a clown. So anyway, let's get back to the video.
Misuse of the Quran. So what do? They'll take that verse out of context and then they will use it where it should not be, right? So here, this is the beautiful thing about Hadith. And I'll explain a little bit about Hadith first. I'll just tell you what's the point. It gives you that context. It gives you that reference so people don't misuse the words of Allah. So when we say غَيْرَ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِينَ, those that we don't want to be on the path of those that earned the wrath of Allah or those that went astray, who are those? So if we don't have Hadith, then everybody will come up with their own. Ibn Arabi, for example, he gave some strange meaning, you know.
So this guy claim he know the importance of the Hadith, but he was creating his own Hadith. Do you see how evil this clown is? And do you notice what he says? If you notice what he said right there.
They kind of come together on that misuse of the Quran. So what do? They'll take that verse out.
He's the one misusing the Quran. The Quran says, mention Isa as the Messiah. And this clown is telling people that there is more than one Messiah. To the point where, look what he says right here.
Context, and then they will use it where it should not be, right? So here, this is the beautiful thing about Hadith. And I'll explain a little bit about Hadith first. I'll just tell you what's the point. It gives you that context. It gives you that reference so people don't misuse the words of Allah.
So the Hadith give you reference so you don't misuse the word of Allah. But this idiot was creating his own Hadith where he take a footnote and drop it into the Hadith to misuse and to misrepresent the words of Allah. This idiot don't care about no Allah, because to be real with you, a lot of these Muslims, I don't believe they believe in God. I really do believe that. I don't believe that some of these people believe in God. But with other words, you could say, yeah, they do believe in their Allah. They do believe in their Allah, but because the Quran tells them that the only sin that Allah doesn't forgives is shirk. So because the Quran says the only sin Allah doesn't forget is shirk, they could lie, they could manipulate, they could do all kind of evil that they can do and get away with it, because the Hadith and the Quran tell them that they can get away with these things. The Hadith and the Quran tell them that they can get away with this. So if you think I'm lying, you will see this kind of it's there in the Hadith that tell them, hey, you could get away with a whole bunch. For real. Let me show you a Hadith that tells Muslims that they can get away with a whole bunch. All they got to do let me show you. Here you go. Here is one. Here is one hadith that shows that these Muslims can get away with murder. This is one hadith that shows that these Muslims can get away with a lot of things. And I'm going to show you two hadith that shows that these Muslims can get away with a lot of evil. Watch this. This is hadith number 1. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, if I spell it right, reported, Messenger of Allah said, on the day of resurrection, Allah will deliver. Now, not this one. Let me show you that they can get away with a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, here this is one. Abu Burda reported, Allah Messenger, may peace be upon him, as saying, there will come amongst the Muslim on the day of resurrection with as heavy sin as a mountain. So, look, they could come with their sins so heavy. And then this is the time when Allah will forgive them. And Allah will forgive them. And he will place in their stead the Jews and the Christians. Do you see that? You see that? You see that? So in a Muslim, in his mind, people like Ibn Farooq, he could come before Allah on the day of judgment with every sin as a mountain, and he will be forgiven. So for him, you could tell all the lies and stuff. You'll be forgiven. And not only that, there's another one. Listen to this one. You see this one? Their search engine is one of the worst, man. One of the worst. I'm telling you. Okay, here it is. Similar to the one I was looking for. But if you look at what it says, if you did not sin, Allah would create a creation that would sin. So he would forgive them. So the Quran is saying that shirk is the only sin that Allah does not forgive. And then if you didn't sin, Allah would create a creation that would sin and he would forgive them. But it actually gets worse if you read it from other sources. He says, were you not to sin, Allah would create a people who would sin and ask for forgiveness. So you could sin, ask for forgiveness, and so a Muslim could tell you all the lies in the world, and then they go home, and when it's prayer time, they ask for forgiveness. And that's okay. Lie again tomorrow, then ask for forgiveness. Lie again the next day, then ask for forgiveness. It is so bad. It's so bad that Muhammad actually says that if they did not sin, Allah would wipe them out into oblivion. Literally, Allah would take them out of existence. Can't find that one, but you see what I'm trying to say. That see what I'm saying? You see what I'm trying to say? That a Muslim can sin anytime. Here it is, this one right here. By him in whose hand is my life. If you were not to commit sin, Allah would sweep you out of existence. So if you didn't commit any sin at all, Allah would sweep you out of existence and he would replace you by people. He would replace you by those people who would commit sin. Do you see the danger of Allah? Isn't this dangerous? Allah punish you for your sins, but if you did not sin, he would destroy you. Anyway, I'm just showing you why Muslims can lie. They can lie when they're speaking to non-Muslims, because right now Bobby is call himself a non-Muslim, but Bobby is already a Muslim. You know why? Bobby says when he took the hallucinogens, when he went to Amazon jungle and he took the drugs, the hallucinogens, he experienced the oneness of God for the first time. What oneness is he talking about? He's talking about the oneness that is equal to Allah, not the oneness that is equal to the Christian God. He's talking about the oneness that is equal to Allah. So he's already a Muslim. While he was high on drugs, that's when he become a Muslim. While he was high on the hallucinogen, that's when he become a Muslim. He became a Muslim while high. Can you imagine that? While I'm high, higher than the sky, higher than the place where the aeroplane fly. While I'm high, I experienced someone who was pretending to be the Most High. Bobby, man. Bobby experienced Allah while he was high. What a catastrophe, man. Bobby, you need to give up on your reputation and build a new reputation. Man, that is crazy. Bobby said he experienced Allah while he was high.
So when we say غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين, those that we don't want to be on the path of those that earn the wrath of Allah, or those that.
And do you see, Uthman is not good at Arabic, but he's talking to an English speaking man, but he's using Arabic just to make people believe that he's intelligent. That's what all that stuff all about. Zakir Naik do that. Ahmed D do that. You see all these people doing that. You see Muhammad Hijab doing that. You see idiot like Issa Dawa. Issa Dawa doing it. Make you laugh when you see this clown. Ijaz Ahmed. Oh man, I don't know. These people, man,
went astray. Who are those? So if we don't have hadith, then everybody will come up with their own. Ibn Arabi, for example, he gave some strange meaning. Other people like that.
Just like you create your own hadith, come up with your strange meaning. This idiot create his own hadith, where he take a footnote from the bottom of a hadith to trick a Christian. He copy the footnote and put it in, and then take the piece of paper to the Christian to show the Christian, and reading it to the Christian, as if he think Christian, the Christian guy, God Logic, is an idiot, where he's not gonna try to have information on what you are presenting him. So the guy took his phone, which is wisdom. The guy took his phone and took a picture of the paper that was in his hand, and revealed this clown as the biggest liar ever.
They will give their own strange meanings.
Like you clown. I'm talking about you have a degree in hadith science. I have a couple hadith. I would like to know if this guy know how to interpret these hadith, and just show you that there's not all this thing about hadith science is a bunch of bull crap. This hadith science is nothing but bull crap. Let me show you why I could say that it is nothing but bull crap. I'm gonna show you guys why I know that hadith science is nothing but bull crap. Totally bull crap. Let me show you why. All this stuff about hadith science is nothing but bull crap. Anything they don't like, they throw it out and claim something is wrong with it. And that's what I will show you from their own hadith. That's what's happening. Let me show you. I'm gonna show you from their own hadith. That's what happened. Okay, so right on my screen right now, you guys see a hadith, and that's from Sunan an-Nasai 326. What it says, it was narrated that Abu Said al-Khudri said, it was said, O Messenger of Allah, you perform wudu from the well into which the bodies of dogs, menstrual rag, and garbage are thrown. He said, water is pure and it is not made impure by anything. We see that Muhammad was an idiot because water is impure. Water can be made impure by a lot of things. Anybody living in the United States and heard about Flint, Michigan? Flint in Michigan Flint is a city in Michigan where the water was polluted in Michigan. So we know that things can make water impure. Muhammad was a stupid clown. But not only that, watch this. Watch this. Look how they grade that. What is he here? Asan. You see this? Asan. Isn't this a Asan? So what they want to say is something is missing. Something is missing in the narration. This is why it is Asan. It is not considered Sahih. But that doesn't mean that it cannot be used. It's considered Asan because they're saying something is missing from it. So if you give it to if it show this to a Muslim, the Muslim will say, what's the grade on it? And when you go down and show them the grade, Asan, they say, oh, that's not truth. That's not truth. But look at this. Look at the person who narrated. Look at the person who narrated. Narrated, let's go and show you. Because this is what we do. This is what we do. It was narrated by who? Abu Said al-Khudri. Abu Said al-Khudri. Narrate that. But let me show you something. But look at this. Look at this. Let me show you something. The same narration from the same person. The same narration from the same person. Oh boy. There is another narration. Did I find it? Okay, hold on a minute. So the same narration from the same person, they're gonna put that as Sahih because it took out the dead dogs out of it. The dead dog part is gone, and it is no longer saying the dead. Let me find it for you because something, I don't know what happened, because let me show you. So the same person narrated and never mentioned the dead dog. He just mentioned garbage. And guess what? That is considered Sahih. Let me show you. Let me find it here. I have it right here. I can read it, but it is on a different page that cannot be shown. So let me show you. Okay. Here we go. Let's put this up, copy this, and then get back and put it in here. So you see where this one is saying, my friends, you see where this one is saying it got menstrual rags and dead dog. And remember, the narrator is Abu Said al-Khudri. So he's narrated it, and they say it is Asan. But look at this. Sunnah an-Nasai 32:7. Do you see that? 327. And what it says here, are you performing wudu from it when garbage is thrown in it? So the dead dog on the menstrual rag is cut out and it's now garbage. And look at this. Sahih. Anytime somebody says something bad about Muhammad, they claim that it's Hassan, something is wrong with it. Do you see how they grade things? They grade it by what is being said. Not, notice it's the same narrator. Abu Said Al-Qadri. Do you see that? It's the same narrator, Abu Said Al-Qadri. But it's now Sahih, when earlier it was Hassan. Why? Because they took the dead dogs out of it. They took the dead dogs and the menstrual rag out of it. So you see, there is nothing called no added science. These guys are lying to us. Lying to us, they are liars and thieves. There is no such thing called added science. No such thing at all called added science. They're lying. Lying clowns, man. Look at this idiot. This stupid spending all week crying about Uthman's success. Uthman's success. Where's the brain on this idiot? Where is the brain on this idiot? What does this idiot call success? What does this idiot call success? Lying to people is success. Let me show this idiot Uthman success, you dumb donkey. Let me show you Uthman success. I'm going to show you what you call success, you stupid clown, headless Egyptian goat. Let me show you what is called success. What you call success, you dumb idiot. Your mother must be ashamed of you having turn out the way you turn out, you clown. What is wrong with this idiot? This idiot called success. What is this idiot called success? Let me show you your clown success, you idiot. What is wrong with this idiot, man? What do they think that they should come in? Why do they think that they make noise? Let me show you success. Your brain is fried. You bow too much to the black stone, you stupid clown. Your God don't have no logic, and that's your problem. If your God have any logic, you wouldn't be speaking like this. If your God have any form of logic at all, he wouldn't allow you to be such a clown.
When we talk about them being Rusul, right? This puts them at the same thing as being a Messiah. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Somebody who's bringing a message.
Okay, so what is the reference for that? Like, is it in the Quran or a Hadith where you can equate a Rasul, like you said, right, to a Messiah?
No problem. I'll get you on that. Come back next Sunday. We'll bring you some books.
Okay.
Notice what the clown said he was gonna bring. The clown said he was gonna bring some books. And look what the clown bring as books.
So I asked you, is there anywhere in the Quran or the Hadith where anybody else other than Jesus is called the Messiah?
Oh, look at him. He ready. Oh my God, he ready to go. Look at his face. Look like a bloody... Man, this is success for you, you clown, you stupid clown. If this is what you call success, then I don't want to succeed, you dumb idiot. So hold on, man. I'm something messed up there. I don't know what went wrong, but let's show this Uthman. I don't know what go wrong there, but here is Uthman.
You're not reading the Hadith. The Hadith is up above.
Sharia masaha.
Whoa, hold on. Why is he saying the chain of the Hadith with all the names and then not reading the words of the Hadith and going straight to the footnote pretending it is the Hadith? Why is he not reading the Hadith? The Hadith is up above. Why is he reading the footnote written by the modern editor below it?
So do you see, my friend? This is the man that you are here trying to tell us that this guy here is successful. Your foolish prophet, the clown that you call a prophet, says that if a woman I see that, my brother. I don't know what happened. You know, sometimes you can't trust these social media thing. You know, they do all kind of stuff to stop you. But if Uthman is so successful, and the clown that you call a prophet says that a country that have a woman as its as its president or its leader will never succeed. But here it is, a woman is successful in revealing the clown that you are saying is better than, is more successful than I.
Unbelievable.
Uthman is not more successful than I, you stupid clown. Uthman is successful in leading idiots like you. That's what Uthman is successful in. Leading idiots like you.
Studied the Hadith.
Graduated from the Islamic University of Islamabad with a master's focused in Hadith.
You understand the chain, right?
Is he trying to attribute the chains to the words of the modern editor who wrote the footnote at the bottom? That's very naughty. Trying to corrupt your own hadith with the words of a modern person?
And do you notice when he was talking to Bobby, he's talking about corruption of hadith. Do you see that? Uthman is a liar, man. A big donkey liar. Daniel Apologetics says, maybe mix the water with camel urine, it cleanses the water. Man, do you see the idiot that Uthman was? And sorry guys for the interruption, I have no clue what happened. I share something and then the next thing I knew, I look and things are blank. But anyway, so this is the guy that this clown say is successful. Man, if that is success, I don't want success, friend. You know, I stick to what I'm doing instead of going to do what Uthman is doing. And you call that success, you clown.
Prophet, peace be upon him, explained that Maghdubi alayhim is the Jews and Dhalin are the Christians. So now we have a clear reference to understand the context of the verse. Hadith also tell us about some verses that were during battle. And that's why I was telling you about some of the Sahaba, the companions. They said, yes.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Do you see how crazy?
We were there when this verse was revealed to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and it was during battle. So then that tells us you can't take that verse and put it in during peacetime. Sometimes or during travel. So
he says you can take that verse and deal with it during peacetime. So inside a verse that says if they incline to peace, then incline to peace, you can take that verse and attribute that verse to let me actually make him say it again, because this is interesting.
That's why I was telling you about some of the Sahaba, the companions. They said, yes, we were there when this verse was revealed to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and it was during battle. So then that tells us you can't take that verse and put it in during peacetime. Sometimes or during travel. So hadith really gives us the context needed. The Quran tells us pray. That's the order of Allah. Okay. But what are the minute details about the prayer?
So just the same way where the Quran says, if they incline to peace, then incline to peace. Under what context? This is why we go to the other sheikh and show that the other sheikh what it means for a person to incline to peace. Because incline to peace when offensive jihad, during offensive jihad, what does it mean? And incline to peace during defensive jihad, what does it mean? Do you see what I'm saying? So a country or a people don't have to be warring, fighting with the Muslim in order for the Muslim to be fighting with them. The Quran give Islam the okay to be aggressive towards people. And how can that person get rid of the aggression of the Muslims? When Muslim is powerful around you, how can you get rid of the aggression of Muslims? It's to become a Muslim. So they literally force you to become Muslim in order to stop the aggression of the Muslims against you. You have to become a Muslim yourself. You see from the information that we provide so far. This is what Islam is about. In order to stop Islam from being aggressive towards you, you have to become a Muslim yourself. This is what the information that we got from reading Surah 9 verse 29 and looking at what the Sheikh says. And even if you look into the Hadith, you will see that's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means. My brother RJ, man, you so the things you be saying sometimes, bro, you sound the chain. The things you be saying sometimes, bro, you just be saying stuff, man. So anyway, we are going to so we already revealed that Uthman, so let's get back to this. We are revealed that Uthman, nobody want to be like Uthman. Nobody in their right mind want to be like Uthman.
How am I going to fold my hand? How am I going to go into ruku? What verses am I going to recite? That is going to come in Hadith. If all those rulings were in the Quran, look, these are books of Hadith, right? Imagine if the Quran had all this in it.
Yeah.
How would we memorize it? You know, how would we? Who's going to memorize? Exactly. The Quran is the words of Allah. It's perfect. It's revealed.
I wanted to see if you notice when they got to polygamy, when they actually got to the place called polygamy, and talking about virgin and more, you will hear where this guy actually, he actually says, the guy called Bobby, he actually says he want 4 wives. Of course you do, you clown. He actually says he want 4 wives. He actually says he want 4 wives. Of course you do. One of the problem with people who are involved in drugs is sexual promiscuity and sexuality, hypersexuality and promiscuity. That's what he actually. And if you look at the cover, let me show you something. If you guys, just for a laugh, let me show you something. If you go there and look, the way they advertise it, you will see the way they advertise it. The way they advertise it is like this. Let me show you. Let me show you how they advertise it. So if you look at this page here, let me go and show you this page. You look at this page right here. This is how they advertise this video with the guy. Because people have there are different reasons why they become Muslims. To be real with you, some people become Muslim because they are womanizing. Let me show you this thing right here. Some people become Muslim because they're womanizing. So if you look at this video right there, that's the final. I think this one was done like 3 hours ago. He says, final, will Bobby accept Islam? Bobby is already a Muslim. I need to be circumcised. Bobby is very revealing. Bobby is revealing his flap. Look at this. You see the one here? This one right here? He says, I want 4 wives. Do you see where Bobby says, I want 4 wives? Bobby want 4 wives. Bobby is not satisfied with the woman in his life, so he want 4 wives. See, do you see? He says right here, I want 4 wives. Bobby revealing too much about himself, man. You can see that something is wrong with Bobby, man. Something is wrong with Bobby. I like this. Uthman is so. Do you see that? Can you imagine? Bill Kilborn says Uthman is such an idiot, so idiot, and this idiot is saying to me that I envy Uthman because of his. This idiot believes that you're making video about somebody you envy. Envy for what? I'm making video because of him because he's a clown. He's an idiot. You know, get up making video about people who are you know. Did you hear me say he was my role model? If I make a video about someone, I would tell you that he's my role model and I want to be like him. And I already done that. Jesus is my role model. Man. So anyway, so you see, Bobby actually go to the point where Bobby says he wants 4 wives. Of course, Bobby. Of course you need 4 wives. Of course, Mr. Bobby. So let's see what's up here.
Something, we don't accept it in Hadith, right? So even if you look at the earliest biblical manuscripts that are written in 4th century, that means between that and even Paul's time, you have a huge gap of unknown people. Not in Hadith. Let me...
So look what he says. He says, in Hadith, you don't have unknown people. So inside the Hadith, you don't have unknown people, a huge gap of unknown people inside the Hadith. But not because a person writes something and give you names, that doesn't mean that what they're saying is true. And do you see how deceptive? I show you how deceptive they are, where one of the Hadith said that the water of dead dogs, the bodies of dead dogs, menstrual rag and garbage in it is narrated from the same person, and they say it is asan. It's weak. Not weak, but asan, that means something is missing. Daif is weak, sorry. So they say it is asan, that means something is missing. That means it's weaker. It actually means that it is weaker than Sahih. Yes, that's what I should have said. It is weaker than Sahih. And the only reason from what you can see that they put it as Asan is because it mentioned bodies of dead dogs, menstrual rag, and that's the only reason. Because when the Hadith say different, when the Hadith says Garbage alone, they call it Sahih, even though it is the same person narrating the story. What is that telling you? That all the chains of these people were crooked. They were crooked and they were making up stuff. You could tell that they were crooked people and they were making up stuff, and they choose what they want to throw away. Because if you notice in the history of the Hadith, Bukhari Imam Bukhari throw away a whole bunch of Hadith. He discarded a whole bunch of Hadith. Can you imagine if he had discarded these Hadith, what we would have had today? He discarded them. And why he discarded them? Because of these same kind of stuff these people were discarding Hadith based on their own preference, not because of no chain of narration or anything. Because you see where this person say it is Hassan, that means something is missing. But another Hadith is, because it's it doesn't mention certain things, it's the same narrator narrating the similar Hadith, but because it didn't mention certain things, it is Sahih. And the chain of narration have to do with the people involved in the chain. Just show you that Islam is a lie. And not only that, let me read something to you and show you that Islam is a lie. You know that Muhammad said that nothing make water impure. Nothing make water impure. And we have from Sunan and Nasai 326 narrated authority of Ibn Abbas that one of the wife of the prophet perform gosh, means she take a bath, a shower, a bath from Jabana, and we know what Jabana mean. Nasana Jabana, Janaba, from Janaba. We know what Janaba mean. That she just finished having sexual intercourse and she washing herself. And the prophet saw perform wudu with her leftover water. So after she just had sexual intercourse and she performed her bath, Muhammad took wudu, and we know what wudu is. Wudu is the bath, the ritual bath that they take before they pray. The ritual bath that they take before they pray is called wudu. So Muhammad performed wudu. That means he washes his nose, blow his nose, washes, it gets into his mouth, it gets into his eyes and mucous membrane. But Muhammad took bath into it. And just to show you that these people were hiding the fact, notice what they say here. The leftover water. She mentioned that to him, and he said, water is not made impure by anything. But notice Muhammad say water is not impure by anything, but they put that as da'if, weak. The reason they put it as da'if, as far as I can, the information that is given to us, is because of the content, what's inside of it, not because it's weak. Because what? If Muhammad is saying that water is not made impure by anything, and we see so many narrations. Right here I have 1 narration, 2 narration, 3 narration, 4 narration, 5 narration, 6 narration, 7 narration, 8 narration, 9 narration, 10 narration, where Muhammad said water is not made impure by anything. But because of the content that it involves, janaba, and it involved him performing wudu, which are leftover bathing water after janaba, from janaba. They have it a daif, weak. The reason is content. This is why we know that we cannot trust the narration of Islam, because it have a whole lot to do with content and nothing to do with the truth. Nothing to do with the truth, just have a lot to do with content. Islamabad University call and want his diploma back. I don't think he graduated, man. He just got a bunch of hadith lying to himself behind him, not using them. But do you see what I'm saying? They are guilty of calling things daif and weak, because and asan, daif and asan, based on the content, not based on the narration. That's just what I'm trying to say there. You could see that from what the information that I give to you. If Muhammad is saying that nothing make water impure, that means Muhammad will drink bath water, because he said it. Nothing make water impure. So why is it that this is daif? Oh, it's daif in the chain. Prove to us that it's daif in the chain. And why is it asan? Because the dead dogs are taken out and the menstrual rags are taken out. Why is it asan? Because asan, when the dead dogs and menstrual rags are in it, it is asan, and it's sahi when the dead dogs and menstrual rag are taken out. Yet still is the same chain of narration. The same chain of narration, but yet still, this is showing you how unfair these people are when they were handling these hadith.
I'll show you a book here. And the point I will make, if you look at the hadith, it's not just from Imam Bukhari. It will go all the way to the Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, who said, I heard the Prophet, peace be upon him. So you see,
and it's not hard for people to do that. This is what these people don't know. It's not hard for people to do that. You only have to know the people who, a person only have to know people. All the people from people who live from Muhammad to the time when the hadith was being given. That doesn't mean that the hadith is true, because you were seeing where they were rejecting hadith just because they say the person is known to be a liar. Do you see that? They were rejecting hadith just because the person was known to be a liar. According to them, the person is a liar, not because of the chain, but because of the person known to be a liar. So if the person is known to be a liar and the person have a correct chain, a chain that goes all the way to the Prophet, you're rejecting it based on the fact that he is known to be a liar. Many hadiths were rejected based on the thought, not the fact, because somebody could call somebody a liar when they are not a liar. Likewise, somebody could call somebody truthful when they are not truthful. Just like the idiot Dawood Ali that just commented. But anyway, what I'm trying to say here is this. This is what I'm trying to say here. They were rejecting hadith based on the accusation that someone is a liar, not based on the chain. Not based on the chain. So chain don't mean anything. Chain doesn't mean anything because people could build chains. It's not hard for those people living in those days to build chains. To build chains. It's not hard for people to build chain. So to say, oh, it goes back and they narrated this, narrated that, this said, all the way to the Prophet. That doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that it is right. and they rejected many hadith from people who they claim were liars, based on the fact that they claimed they were liars, not on the fact that they did not have a chain back to the Prophet. Do you see that? So it doesn't make any sense what this clown is saying.
The chain is going to be all the way. So there is no writing later. They were compiled maybe later, but the chain will go all the way to the Prophet. Meaning, who did they hear it from? Who did they hear it from? Who did they hear it from? All.
Do you see that? So who did they hear it from? 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 But they were rejecting hadith because they say someone make up the hadith, not because the person didn't say, I hear it from this, I hear it from this, and hear it from this. They were rejecting hadith because the person, they say, hey, this person is a liar. So it appears as if it was easy to build these chains. You know, it appeared as if it was easy to build those chains, you know. That's what you see so far.
Wives. I would like to have 4 wives as well. But
do you hear
that,
Allah bless you for it. And that,
listen to him.
That's why we have scholars who spend a lifetime studying these things and teaching these things. So,
and how can you spend your lifetime studying something that you spend your lifetime studying something that like this, where you see where revealed to you? How do you get, if a person asks you the question like, why is this chain Hassan when this chain is Sai? Why? Why is this chain? Because it have dead dogs and menstrual rag in it. Why is it Hassan? And when without the dead dog and the menstrual rag from the same chain of narration, why is it Sai? How do you answer that? And this is why it's not a science, it's a lie. The science of lying about things. The science of lying about things. You see, the funny thing about it, if you're talking about hadith science, I would like to ask Uthman, when you're talking about hadith science, the real thing that is called science. In the hadith, Muhammad says that if a man have sexual intercourse with his wife, the one who ejaculates first is the one that the child would resemble. I would ask Uthman, what is the science behind that? What is the science behind that? And if Uthman want to say that it's talking about this and going to some complex stuff, I would tell him he's a liar. Why I know that? A woman was talking about a wet dream. Sorry if there's any kids here. A woman was talking about wet dream, and Muhammad says to the woman, Muhammad said to the woman that the woman have wet dream too. The woman said, yeah, the woman didn't know that. So the woman said, yeah. Muhammad said to the woman, why do you think that a child resembles its mother? So Muhammad actually believed that the discharge of a woman is actually like sperm. So this is the kind of science that they should be studying when they're talking about hadith, and stop lying about hadith. Hadith science, that kind of hadith science would be more interesting if you study that form of hadith science. I think that would be a more interesting form of science to study if you're talking about studying hadith science, to be real with you. So we're going to listen to this guy talking about women now. So they're into the women part of it. And the drug addict will tell you that what he'll desire of a woman.
That's amazing. You mentioned the contradictions to the Quran. My question would be, when I was reading the Quran, the topic of 4 wives, for example, doesn't pop up explicitly, right? And by the way, guys, I have no issues with 4 wives. I would like to have 4 wives as well. But other than that...
Wow. Yeah, that, by the way, you have no issue with 4 wives. You would like to have 4 wives as well. Of course you would. You're a clown who like to try things. And this is why you go all the way to the Amazon jungle to try hallucinogen, to try a psychedelic drugs that cause you to hallucinate, to experience Allah for the first time. And it wow, man, this is blindness in its highest stage, man. But I would just want to say, man, our praises to the triune God, the God who give us wisdom to decipher things and to make sense of sensible things and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And Islam is nothing but nonsense. Here is a dog barking. So let's see what he said. You need to get a life. You need counseling. I need counseling. The person who revealing your stupid prophet need counseling. You should be there to advise Muhammad. You should have been there to advise the dumb clown you call a prophet. You should be. You should have tell Muhammad he need to get a life. The idiot who after he just murdered thousands of people from a village decided to eat poison goat meat from them. You should be there. You should be there. You should have been there, you dumb donkey. You should have been there to tell your prophet to get a life and he need counseling. You know, your prophet should have been the one who need a life and need some counseling. Because if your prophet is telling you that a woman's discharge is the way a child resemble a woman, then he need counsel and he need to get a life. You stupid clown following a bastard of a man who did not have the sense of a baby. Even your stupid Quran. Since you're here, we're going to show you something from your stupid Quran. Even in your stupid Quran, we're going to show you something from your stupid Quran just to show you that Muhammad was just an inventor and he was a stupid bastard. And we show you that this Muhammad need to get a life. Should have gotten a life. And you don't have a life to follow a clown like this. Look at this. Look at this now. Now tell me something about this verse. I want you to explain, since you love to run off your mouth. Explain this. Explain this dumb verse. We offer the trust to the heavens and to the earth and the mountain, but they refuse to carry it and were afraid of doing so. But man carry it. Surely he is wrongdoing, ignorant. What is the trust? Clown Muslim, what is the trust? Do you want to come up and defend your religion? What is the trust? What is the trust that was offered to the mountain? I want to know that. Let me send it to you so you could come up. Any one of you Muslim want to come up and talk about it? What is the trust? What is the trust that your God offered to the mountains? And what is the trust? I want to know that. Pay attention to your religion. This is what we're talking about. When we are talking about the triune God, then we will answer question about the triune God. Shalom, shalom. But right now, I want to know what is the trust that your God offered to the mountain? And how did your God offer trust something to the mountain that can be offered to man? And if you notice, the mountain refused whatever your God was giving to the mountain. The mountain refused to carry it. But notice what your God said, but man carried it. Why is it? What is it that your God was offering to the mountain that the mountain refused? I want to know. What is the trust? Hi, Sister Darcy, how are you? What is the trust? I want to know. That's what I want to know. What is the trust that your God was giving to the mountain? Instead of running off your stupid mouth, what is the trust that your God was giving to the mountain? Look at this, people. Let me show you how stupid the Quran is. Let me show you. In the end, Allah want man to realize his real position in the world. If in the position he regard the life of the world as mere fun and sports and adopt a wrong attitude, careless, he would only be working for his own doom. But look at this. Here the word amanat, trust, implies caliphate, caliphate. Do you see this? So Allah offer caliphate to the mountain. Allah offer caliphate to the mountains and the earth. Allah offer caliphate to the mountain and the earth. What does caliphate mean? Which, according to the Quran, man has been granted on the earth. What is man granted on the earth? According to the Quran, what is man granted? What did Allah give to man? Look at this. The inevitable result of the freedom given to man to choose between obedience and disobedience. So notice this. This is what caliphate means. And the power and authority granted him over countless creation, freedom. The responsible of is in voluntary act and okay, let me put it in so that we can see that. Look at this. All this stuff, conduct and suffer punishment for his evil conduct. Look at this. This is what it means. This is what it means. The inevitable result of the freedom given to man to choose between obedience and disobedience, and the power and authority granted him over countless creation for using the freedom, is that he himself be held responsible for his voluntary acts and should deserve reward for his righteous conduct and suffer punishment for his evil conduct. The mountain was given this. The mountain was given this. So the mountain could be obedience or disobedient. The mountain could be obedient or disobedient to Allah. The mountain, do you see how stupid the Quran is that an inanimate object is compared to a man? A man who have a brain and function of a brain, inanimate object can do what this man can do. And it's not like, when Jesus say, if you command the mountain move, then the mountain will move. It's not like that. No, because when you say move, it means the mountain will move. It's not like the mountain hear you and the mountain understand what you say. No, it's because of the power that God has given you, you can do these things. Like when Jesus said to the water, peace be still, the water became still because he had the power to control the water. It is not like the water have a brain and understand him. Or when Moses stretched forth his rod and the water part open, it is not like the water of the ability to know that when Moses stretched his rod out, the water should part open. No, it's the power of God that part the water. So, but what is this? Where the mountain could refuse. Do you notice what it says? But they refuse to carry it. Do you see that this Quran is written by a stupid person? A very stupid person. The last time I told you that I was going to show you a sheikh who says the Quran is from a stupid person. The sheikh actually says the Quran is from a stupid person. Because when you read the Quran, all you can see is stupidity. When you read the Quran, all you can see from the Quran is nothing but stupidity, literal stupidity. And anything that may seems a little sensible was already written, already given. Everything that comes from Muhammad that was never before written is pure stupidity. Pure stupidity. Dumbness, pure dumbness. So look at this. Let me show you something if I Here it is. Here it is. Because the man is reading. If you are reading this book and think that there is sense in this book, you're a fool. Here is the Sheikh who called the Quran a stupid book. Because what you're reading is stupidity. What you're reading is stupidity.
شرقية ولا غربية فيها زيت يضيء ولو لم تسعد شبكها لخبطها فالصفحة كاملة يمثل الله نور السماوات والأرض. صار المثال اللي هو المفروض يكون أوضح، المثال لازم يكون أوضح من الممثل له.
I like this guy.
He actually called the Quran a stupid book. Stupid book. If you want to watch the rest of it, you just gotta go there. A renowned sheikh said the Quran is a stupid book, therefore it cannot be from God. I need to subscribe to this channel. Do you see? A renowned sheikh, and I've watched it before. So just to give you a clip of it, just a tip of it.
Talking to who? Did not mention neither genie or a human.
بعدين ذكر الإنس والجن. يعني هاي الآية منو فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان ربكما من هم؟
Those who are those, you know? And here it's coming like for two individual. Who are those two? Shouldn't you mention before you tell us you're talking to who and about who?
So you see, this man believes the Quran is a stupid book. And when you read it yourself, man, you want to believe that this is a book from God Almighty, where God is saying that he give religious obligation. Because when you read this here, it actually talking about religious obligation and all this stuff to the mountain, and the mountain refuse it. The mountain refuse it. The other day I show you something, guys. The other day I show you something from the Quran, and I just want to even show a little bit more about it. Why? Because I have more evidence to add to it. Just to show you how stupid this Quran is. So while this guy is here running off his dumb mouth, and I'm going to show you something that he says. He says, why you worshiping a man? Is Allah not a man? If Allah was not a man, why would Allah be saying, how could I have a son when I have no wife? Only men need wife to have sons. So why is your God speaking like a man if he's not a man? And not only that, if Allah is not a man, why was Muhammad saying that don't confuse the Dajjal for Allah? Huh? There is something hidden in your religion, Cloud. We are here to reveal your religion. There's something hidden in your religion. Now look at this. Let me go back and show you guys something we were going through, just to show you how stupid the Quran is. Because it's not only the Hadith that are stupid, the Quran is stupid too. Let me show you how stupid the Quran is. I show you guys this other day, and we are gonna go back. Okay, so there's a Muslim here. He's called himself Muslim. Let's hold on. Let me share this. Then I bring him on. Okay, so all right. Let me bring this guy on. There's somebody waiting here. Call it.
Yeah. Can I speak?
Hold on, friend. So we are going to this verse. Let's talk about this verse before you.
You were saying something. I want you to respond on that. Can I respond?
Hold on. Okay, what are you saying?
You were saying that, for example, you said the Prophet said don't get confused for Dajjal to be Allah. If Allah is not man, why he is saying this? Because you can see the Christians, well, they confuse Jesus for God. They confuse Jesus to be the Son of God. And you can see the world over, people are confusing people for God. They're literally taking people as God. So there's so much confusion.
Hold on, friend. Hold on.
So this is basically.
Hold on, friend. Calm down. You're talking.
Yeah.
You make your point. You make a point. So let's talk now. So notice what your prophets say. The difference between the Dajjal and your God is the Dajjal have one eye and your God have two. He didn't tell you, don't hold on, friend. Let me talk. Are you come here for a dialogue? Or you come here to run off your mouth? What you do? You come for a dialogue? So if you come for a dialogue, my friend, let's talk. So if you notice, your prophet didn't say, don't confuse the Dajjal for Allah because Allah is not a man. He said to them, don't confuse the Dajjal for Allah because Allah is not one-eyed and the Dajjal is one-eyed.
True. Yeah. What is wrong about that?
He's telling you that Allah looks like the Dajjal.
No, he's not telling. He's telling. I will let me respond because you haven't read about the tafsir and you haven't read about anything. Literally, I would say the thing is that
friend.
This is about the last time when the Dajjal will come.
Listen to me, my friend.
Do you know the meaning of Dajjal?
My friend, ranting friend. I will kick you out. I will kick you out if you come here to rant. I don't deal with ranters. So stop ranting. You come here and you are making empty claim that I am not right about something, but all you do. Let me respond first, then you can no, let me talk. You don't control this. All you do when you come here, so far, all we see you do is make claims. But the hadith that we are talking about doesn't support your claim that you are making. The hadith says no, friend. What are you a robot?
I'm not a robot, I am a man.
Wind you up and let you loose out here that you can't.
I want to say something, then you can respond. Let me say something.
He's talking because you don't want the point to be made because you want to rant like a donkey and you don't want the point to be made. That's what you want to do.
You don't know even the meaning of Dajjal and you are just ranting.
I know what Dajjal mean. According to you clowns, they mean Antichrist. But Dajjal is not Antichrist.
What is the meaning of Dajjal?
According to you idiots, it means Antichrist. Didn't you hear me say that?
It does not mean Antichrist. What is the meaning of Dajjal? It's an Arabic word. Just you can Google. Maybe you are already Googling.
What does Dajjal mean?
I am asking you. You are talking about Dajjal.
No, you tell us what Dajjal mean. You tell us. Since you say
from Dajjal. It is about deceiving. The great deceiver.
And I asked you a question. Does Dajjal mean Antichrist?
Dajjal represent Antichrist, but it actually means the great deceiver.
So when I said Dajjal mean Antichrist, and you said no.
I'm not saying. I'm asking you for the meaning of word Dajjal. Dajjal means the great deceiver. So he will be deceiving the people.
Why is that relevant? Why is that relevant? Why is that relevant?
You know why it is relevant? Because Dajjal, the great deceiver, will come and he will be telling the people, just like you people, the Christians, have got deviated from the right path and believing that Jesus is God or the Son of God, that he died for our sins.
Your Quran said Jesus is God.
Whatever is that, I don't want to go into that.
Your Quran said Jesus is God.
It doesn't say. You say
yes, it does. Indirectly, your Quran, if you will shut up your big mouth, I will show you where your Quran said Jesus is God.
Let us first take this argument you were talking about Dajjal. The Prophet basically is saying here that don't get deceived by Dajjal, because a human can never be a God. Because Allah says,
that's not what the Prophet was saying. You're a lying donkey and you need to stop lying. You're a lying donkey. That's not what your Prophet was saying. Your Prophet says, don't confuse the Dajjal for Allah, because Allah have 2 eyes and the Dajjal have 1. That's what your Prophet says. That means...
Wait. Have you read the Shara? You know what is the meaning of Shara?
What do you mean?
There is a hadith and there is a commentary on it.
I don't care about the commentary. I'm listening to what your Prophet says, you fool.
So you are the fool, basically. You don't
care about what you, because you clowns gonna make. Let me kick out this guy, man, and talk to Shabazz.
You don't know the meaning of metaphors and you don't know anything at all. Basically,
you're just a ranting donkey. That's what you are.
You don't want to hear the truth. That's why. Let me complete first.
Listen to me, man.
Let me complete. Then continue. Let me complete. Please don't interject.
So this clown come here and he tell us about the Hadith. But if I show you the Hadith,
because the Hadith people like you, basically the Christians, like they had
this clown. I'm kicking. The next time you talk, I'm kicking you out.
That for even
bye clown. Bye clown.
Okay, get back in your misguidance forever.
Bye clown.
Okay, back to your misguidance.
Bye. Now, Shabazz, if you want to come up and talk, you could talk. You dumb donkey. If you look at what the Hadith says, let me show you guys what the Hadith says. The Hadith actually says, don't confuse Allah for the Dajjal, because Allah have 2 eyes and the Dajjal have 1. And also, not only that, let me show you also what Muhammad says. Muhammad says that man are created in the image of Allah. He said, when any of you fight, don't hit each other in the face, because a man is created in the image of Allah. That the reason Muhammad is telling them that don't confuse the Dajjal for Allah is because Allah is a man. Allah looks like a man. Let me read for you guys, because this clown is just a running off his mouth idiotic clown. This is what he's doing. So who is this? Hello?
Hello, yeah, it's me.
Who is this?
Yeah, it's me. You can talk.
The same guy?
No, you can talk. What do you mean by same guy?
The same guy that was just running off his mouth here.
No, you can talk. What you are saying?
Okay. So the thing about it, let me break it down for you guys. We're gonna use the truth to break down things, because that's what we do here.
What is the objective of this?
What the objective of what?
What is the objective of what you are doing today? What is the objective of this? All right.
You don't see the objective?
No, I don't.
Are you a Muslim?
I don't see any objective other than spreading.
Are you a Muslim? Are you a Muslim?
Why are you so fearing about Muslims? Why are you so fearing about Muslims? Why are you so fearful of Muslims?
Fearful?
Yeah.
If I was fearful, I'm gonna kick out this. This is another clown that's gonna get kicked out.
That's why Islam is the fastest growing.
No, Islam is the fastest growing religion, because men love darkness than light. You dumb donkey. Islam is the fastest growing religion because men love darkness more than light. You dumb donkey. You get 2 chances to talk and you can't even talk. But anyway, let me show you something, people. Let me show you something, because I don't play with these idiots when they come up here. Let me show you what. So, in the Hadith, Muhammad is saying that don't confuse. If you are confused about him, know that Allah is not one-eyed. Know that Allah is not one-eyed. So this, the next time I'm gonna do, ban him from my channel. That's what I'm gonna do the next time. But I'm not taking him up here, so I don't know why he's coming back. This idiotic clown. So he says, know that Allah is not one-eyed. So what is that saying to you? If you can confuse the Dajjal for Allah, know that Allah is not one-eyed. And in the very same hadith, let me read it for you guys. I'm gonna show you to you. I'm gonna say show you. I'm gonna show you because I share things here. I share things here. This guy is just a run off his mouth clown. Let me show you guys. I'm gonna show you the two hadith. The hadiths that I'm using to destroy this idiotic clown. So they put a D-A-J-J-A-L. Okay. Let me show you. Let me show you, guys, exactly what is going on here. So that you guys, I don't mind talking to someone, but these kind of guys, man, just come running off his mouth and acting like he have more control over things than you have. Like, dude, if you come on and be chill, we could have a dialogue and I could reveal how stupid you are. But if you're running off your mouth, what do you think gonna happen? I don't give nobody this platform to be my bully. You're an idiot. So let me show you. Okay, so let me show you what the prophet says. This is Sunan Abi Dawud. Okay, so let me show you guys this. Let me show you guys this, because what this guy come to do is run off his mouth. But you know, I don't like the running off mouth stuff. I like to share information. So let me share information and educate the people, because this guy is a clown, you know, and I will let him on after I share this information with you. Just, you know, and let him make his peace, because he seems like he needs some attention. Okay, so here we go. We're going to share this with you in a minute, my people. So this is the hadith. Let me share it with you so you guys could see. I ate empty talk, and when you like, this is not Facebook or you know, this is somewhere where you can share information. So if any wise person is here, they can see what's going on. Sunan Abu Dawud 43:20. The prophet said, so it's narrated Ubada ibn Asamit. The prophet said, I have told you much about the Dajjal. Do you see Antichrist here? And when I asked him what Dajjal mean, when he asked me what Dajjal mean, and I said Antichrist, the clown, I want to act like I was wrong. But whoever runs Sunan Abi Dawud, whoever runs Sunnah.com, believe that Dajjal mean Antichrist. And you see where I show you a video the other day called the Island of the Antichrist, the Island of the Dajjal. So I don't know what is wrong with this clown. But anyway, that I am afraid you may not understand. The Antichrist is short, pigeon-toed, woolly-eared, one-eyed, and eyesightless, and neither protruding nor deep-seated. If you are confused about him, know that your Lord is not one-eyed. So you see, if Muhammad was a wise person and want to tell them that their God will never be a man, what would Muhammad say? What do you think that Muhammad would say? Muhammad would say that Allah will never be a man. But that's not what he's telling them. He said, if you are confused about the Dajjal, you should know that your Lord is not one eye. That means you could confuse the Dajjal for your God, but the difference is your God is not one-eyed. And here is more proof. Let's go to more proof. That Muhammad believed that men look like Allah. Look like Allah. Let me show you that Muhammad believed that men look like Allah. Let me show you that. Because we are in the business of teaching the truth. This guy is in the business of talking nonsense. That's what he talking nonsense and running off his mouth and telling you what does the interpretation say. We don't deal with interpretation. In these things, we don't deal with interpretation because the interpreter is just as stupid as you are. They want to brainwash people. We look at evidence and we draw to our own conclusion. So let me show you. Here is more evidence right here. We're coming up with more evidence because we don't just speak like this. Muhammad believed that this is what Muhammad believed. This is what Muhammad believed. Abu Huraira report Allah Messenger, peace be upon him, as saying, may peace be upon him, as saying, when any of you fight with his brother, he should avoid striking at the face. And why? 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 Here it goes again. Why? Let's continue. Here is the reason. When any one of you fights with his brother, he should avoid his face, for Allah created Adam in his own image. Whose image? Do you notice what the person do? They put "is" in there because a lot of Muslims will tell you it means in Adam's image, but that's not what it means. Look at this. Look at this. Continue. 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 I don't know why that is in there where we're talking about image. Okay, let's put the word image here so all the ones with image, we could find them easily. IMAGE. So you see that one, image. So that's the first one. Because a lot of Muslims will tell you they're so deceptive and evil that they will tell you that it means Adam's image. But you're going to see that it means the image of this so-called God that they say is not a man. I've been debating these clowns so long, these clowns believe that I'm a pushover. Like, why do you come here thinking that, oh, I am a pushover? Like you think that you're going to come on here and run over me? I'm the black Christian prince. The only thing I can speak Arabic. You think I am easy to run over, you foolish clown. I'm not easy to run over. Let me show you. Let me copy from where something I have here and put it in the anyway, come up. Oh, well, it's not hard to show that what Muhammad believed. You guys need to here it is. Here it is. Adam in the image. Copy. Okay. Let's find this one for you. Do you see this? We are here to share information. We don't go off ranting. You know, you turn me on my wrong side, man. I don't like that. When, you know, you can't come along and act like you know more than, what is this saying? What it says here? And this is Mishkat al-Masabi 35:25. He reported God messenger as saying, when any of you fight, he must avoid the face, for God created Adam in his own image. In his own image. Watch this. Because it's not own. Watch this. And when any of you is the same in his own image, watch this. We ain't finished yet. We not finished yet. Watch this. Face, black, white, brown. Let me show you that it means that Allah is in man. Allah the exalted and glorious created Adam in his own image, which is, so in his own image, length of 60 cubits, because Muhammad believed that Allah is this big man. Let me show you. Let me show you. If you guys think I'm lying, man. Let me show you. Hear this. Hear this. The messenger of Allah entered upon me, and I put on with the images, which is his face changed. Okay, that's a different stuff. Let me show you. I don't know why it's not coming up. I copied this stuff and put it in there from Sahih Muslim. I have it on my own stuff from Sahih Muslim. What is it? Sahih Muslim. But I don't want to show it for my own thing for him to say that I'm lying. Sahih Muslim 26:12. Sahih Muslim 26:12. I don't know why it is not showing. Let me see why it's not showing up. But we share information. Let me put the whole thing in there and see, because I just copied the whole thing. So let me see if paste. Let's see. Let's keep showing the same thing in the image of, let me see if something can, when any of you fight his brother. Oh, just a minute. Let me do something else. Just to show you that we don't sell false information around here. Okay, here we go. Here we go, people. Here we go. All righty. We don't sell false information. Everything we say here can be substantiated Islamic sources. We don't lie here. So this Muslim come here to rant and to talk nonsense and to disrupt. But we're showing him that, I show him that his God is a man. All these lies that these Muslims be telling you, this is Islam Q&A. Islam Q&A. This is what it is. And I couldn't find the hadith when I was looking for it, but I'm sure it's right here. The reason is, let me show you how I know. It's here. Let's look for the word face. F-A-C-E. Okay, I'm gonna make this larger so you guys can see it. Zoom, 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 and zoom, and more zoom, and I think that might be good, and more zoom. All right, so you see it right here. Narrated Abu Hurairah, the messenger of Allah, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, said, when any of you fight his brother, let him avoid the face, for Allah created Adam in his image. So we continue to read. What we see here, do not say, may Allah deform your face. A form of Arabic cursing, a form of cursing in Arabic, for the son of Adam was created in the image of the most merciful. Do you see this? Do you see this? If you're notice we are talking about face, physical features, and Muhammad is telling them that the son of Adam was created in the image of the most merciful. Muhammad believed that Allah is like a man. So I don't know why this Muslim is galloping and galloping and galloping and galloping like a donkey, come here running off his mouth. Do you notice he couldn't even calm down to have a conversation? Make my point and then say, go ahead, refute my point. Make my point, go ahead, refute my point. He would not allow, because what? He came with deviousness. He came with deception. He came to lie. He came to lie. Muhammad wasn't saying that don't worship man like how the Christian worship man. That's what Muhammad was saying. Muhammad says that don't confuse the Dajjal for Allah. You may confuse about the Dajjal, but know that Allah is not one-eyed. The reason is Allah will come like a man. When Allah come to earth here, Allah will come like a man. That's what Allah will come like, a man. And this is why you have Ibn Abbas talking about Surah 21 verse 17 says that it was said that if Allah want a wife, Allah could take it from the whores, H-O-R-E-S. No, sorry, H-O-O-R-S of Jannah. Why? Because Allah have the form of a man. And that's not the only place. Watch this. When any of you fight, let him avoid the face, for Allah created Adam in the image of his face. In the image of whose face? Allah's face. In the image of whose face? In the image of Allah's face. Do you see? So nothing we say here we can support. Muhammad believed that Allah is coming to the earth as a man. So when these dumb Muslims are telling us your God is a man, your God is a man, we can show that their stupid God is a man too. We can show that. It's not hard for us to show that their God is a man. We are not afraid. I've been doing this a long time. I've watched many Christian Prince video. That's my teacher. that's one of my teachers. I would say he's my only teacher, but that's one of my teachers. I'm not afraid to defend. When I say something, I know what I'm saying. So let's get back to the stupid Quran verse that we were gonna look over, and then we because this guy came and disrupt. I don't even remember some of the stuff that the idiot says. But anyway, let's look at something. We could discuss if he calmed down. I told him, I said, hey, calm down, bro, calm down. And you could discuss something if you calm. Nobody want to talk to a ranting donkey. So look at this. Look at this. Let's look at this surah again. I want you guys to look at this surah. Remember we looked at it the other day? But I want you guys to pay attention to this surah right here. Surah 11 verse 43. This is talking about Noah and his son in the flood. So we see the Hadith is stupid and the Quran itself is also stupid. I wanted him to talk about the Quran, but he ran to talk about all kind of dumb stuff. Because we talk about a Quran verse and I wanted him to defend the Quran. So if you want to come back on and defend the Quran, we could talk about that. We could talk about that. So look at this. The son, this is Noah's son. So in the Bible, all of Noah's sons were saved. Ham, Shem, and Japheth. But Muhammad, because he was a lying clown and made up stories, this son don't even have a name. This son. He just called this son. But we know in the Bible, Noah got 3 sons and all his sons have name. Ham, H-A-M, Shem, S-H-E-M, and Japheth, I think it's spelled Jephet or something. I can Jphat, I think H, I don't know. Something like that. I would have to look it up to spell that one. So the son, Am, Shem, and Japheth. We know that Noah have 3 sons, and all 3 of them were saved. But the clown Muhammad want to make up a story, and he want to add more. So what this clown decided to do, he said, let's put a 4th son into it. And the 4th son is called the son. The son replied, okay, let's start at the back, at the top. So the ark sailed along with them amid mountains of waves. Notice this, mountain of wave. Noah spotting his son at a distance. So Noah is on the wave is like a mountain, and Noah is on the mountain of a wave, and he spot his son at a distance. And he called out to his son. Can you imagine? You are on a wave like a mountain, because the wave overtake the land. And the wave is like mountain, and you spot your son at a distance. A distance where? A distance where? Anyway, my son, embark with us. So the wave is like a mountain, but the sun is at a distance, but the sun can come on the ship, the boat, the ark. How would the sun get onto the ark if the wave is like a mountain? Tell me now, people. Anybody in their right mind, tell me that somebody sensible, and then the clown god of the Muslim would tell you that, if you write something like this, do you see how dumb the clown god is? So the clown god will tell you, write something like this. The clown god will say, if you are better than Allah, write something like this. Who would want to write a stupid stuff like this? The ark sail along with them amid mountain-like waves. Have you ever seen a mountain? Have you ever seen a mountain? Have you ever gone down to Gatlinburg and see the mountain range? Have you ever gone to places like Colorado and see the mountain range? So if the wave is high like mountain, how would the boy get onto this boat? Do you see how stupid Allah is? And say that this is a God? And but look at it. Not only that, have you ever heard the noise that waves are made when they are angry? Can you imagine if a wave is like a mountain, how noisy, pushing land, trees, debris, how noisy this is? Let me play a video for you. Let me play a video for you, just to show you the noise that waves made. Small waves, not waves like mountain. I'm going to play a video for you just to show you how noisy waves can be. Waves, but Noah was shouting and his son heard him. At a distance, he saw his son, and he shouted and his son heard him. Do you see how stupid this religion is? Do you see? Are you listening and watching and seeing this stupid religion? Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Watch this wave right here. And this wave, you wouldn't even call this wave a mountain of a wave. This wave is not a mountain of a wave. And listen to this. Do you hear that? But Noah was on a mountain of a wave on an ark and was calling to his son at a distance, "Get on, son!" Look at that little wave. This is a small wave compared to wave that we have seen before. But look how noisy the wave is. Do you hear that? But Noah's son, and this, I remember the wave of the flood was crashing into mountain, crashing into land, crashing into stuff. So it is so loud. Can you imagine how loud it was? The rushing water, rushing without restraint. Can you imagine how loud and deafening it was? But Noah was calling out to his son, "Hey, son, up onto my boat, boy. We're going for a ride." Do you see how stupid the Quran is? Do you see the stupidity of this God? Do you see that? And then telling people, can you write better than this God? I've written better than this God before. Who, I in my right mind would write something like this? Who in their right mind would think that this is good writing? This is why the Muslim Sheikh says the Quran is nothing but stupidity. Look at this and tell me if this is not stupidity. The ark sailed along with them amid mountain-like waves. Man, the wave was like mountains. I'm going to show you a picture of a mountain in a minute so you think about it. Noah spotting his son at a distance. Call out to him, "My son!" Where's the exclamation sign? We need to do some editing right here. "Embark with us." Oh, that sounds like a British man talking. "Embark with us." I can't even talk British. I know this guy, this guy with God logic, that guy can talk like British people so much. I love their accent. And British people love my accent, and I love their accent. You know, say, "Embark with us." It's because British people will use this word. Jamaican ain't gonna use that word. Jamaican be like, "Yo, jump." Jump on that thing, yeah. But they look at that, "Embark with us and do not be with the unbelievers." Can you imagine mountain-like waves and more and the boat is sailing, the ark is so big that you have all these animals in it, and the water is so strong that it starts carrying the ark, sailing the ark, mountain-like waves. And Noah was calling to his son, and listen to his son. Noah was just as stupid as his son. Listen to his son. I tell you, Muhammad was laughing at the real people of God. Laughing at the real people of God. Look at this. The son replied, "Can we know that none of Noah's son died? Not one. Not one of them. Nothing historically show us that Noah's son died." So this son, called this son, no name. Which one of the son? We know about Ham, Shem, and Japheth. But what is the name of this clown son? No, because it's a made-up story, just like all the other stories. This replied, "I will go to the mountain for refuge." But notice the wave is high as a mountain. But the boy said, "I will go to the mountain for refuge, and it will save me from the water." The wave is high as a mountain, and the boy have an option to get onto the boat. And the father said, you know, but look how stupid it is. The wave is high as a mountain. There is no way the boy can get on the boat no more. But the father is saying, "Get on the boat." And the boy's reaction is not, "How can I get on the boat when the wave is so high?" The boy was so stupid like Muhammad. The boy says, "I will go to the mountain." "I will go to the mountain and it will save me from the water." Noah said, "None can save anyone today from the the wave is already high as mountain." And the boy said, "I will go to the mountain." And how fast can the boy get up the mountain before the water came to him? And how far was he that he could run up a mountain before the wave-like mountain get to him? If he was so far, how could Noah's voice be heard over the wave. I just play for you guys the wave, the sound of the wave. Allah was a clown, man. Allah was a clown. Do you see what I'm saying? Allah is a nobody. So anyway, my people, I just want to show you the kind of people that we are dealing with. The kind of people that we are dealing with, man. The kind of people. I really wanted the Muslim to explain this verse here. To explain this verse. But he came on and he would not stop galloping. Because that's his desire. You listen to his voice, you just could tell that this guy is a ranting donkey. This is the verse 2 that is so crazy. And we show you that it is not only the Quran that is the Hadith that is crazy. The Quran too is crazy. Mountain refused Allah. The mountain refused to carry it. And look what Allah was giving to the mountain. The responsibility of taking care of the earth. This is what the Muslim said. This is what the Muslim says. The power and authority granted over countless creation. That's what Allah was giving to the earth. Do you see that? The caliphate. The caliphate. The viceroy over the earth. In order to give an idea of how important and heavy this trust, is, Allah says that the heaven and the earth, in spite of their glory and greatness, and the mountain, in spite of their size and firmness, could not have power and courage to bear it. That's what Allah says. Do you see how they write in their own Quran? He says, in spite of their size and firmness, could not have power to bear it. But Allah gave it to man. Wow. Allah gave man more than what he can bear. Do you see the stupidity of this reasoning that comes with this nonsense? Because there is no way else they can explain the stupidity that the mountain was given. We offer the trust, mean the rulership of the earth. So Allah offered the rulership of the earth to the heavens and the earth and the mountain. See, I could see where Allah offered the earth to rule itself in a sense of saying, okay, rule yourself. But the problem is they refuse to carry it. Because they were afraid. Do you see this stuff? I'm doing so. I could see where God created the earth and just leave it to rule itself. Say that's okay. You know, say that's could be possible. But I will see where he created heaven and allow it to rule itself. But look at this. The mountain. And allow it to rule itself. Which is kind of impossible in a sense. Unless he giving all of them together. Say, oh, go ahead and rule. But why the mountain? Isn't the mountain a part of the earth? Make no sense. But listen what it says. They refuse to carry it. So because they were afraid. They were afraid. And then look at his interpretation. How stupid his interpretation is. How stupid it is. In order to give an idea of how important and heavy this trust is, Allah says that the heaven and the earth, in spite of their glory and greatness, and the mountain, in spite of its size and firmness, could not have the power and courage to bear it. Do you see how stupid this is? Because many mountains that exist now did not exist back in the time, in earlier time. But anyway, they could not have the power and the courage to bear it. But that's not what the Quran is saying. The Quran said they refuse it because they were afraid. They refuse it because they were afraid. So these people have to rewrite the Quran in order to make the Quran make sense, because the Quran doesn't make any sense. It literally doesn't make any sense. But man, the weak and frail, has borne this heavy burden and his tiny self. Who gave man this burden to bear? Did man just take it upon himself to bear this burden, or did Allah give them the burden? And this is how stupid the Quran is. Because according to the Quran, Allah says to the angel, I'm going to make a viceroy on the earth. He said, I'm going to make a viceroy. So he made man as a viceroy. A viceroy. So how is it that he says, but man, the weak and frail, has borne this heavy burden on his tiny self? Did he take the burden on himself, or did Allah give him that burden to bear? Do you look at the verse and see what the verse says and see how stupid the verse is? But man carried it. Surely he is wrongdoing and ignorant. The mountain refused it, but man carried it. Allah is acting like men are doing things that he did not ask them to do. Do you see the stupidity of Allah? Where Allah is acting like the things that men do, he did not tell them to do it. Do you see? Do you see? Allah is acting like he did not ask these people to do this. And if you notice, Uthman Ibn Farooq was talking about Hadith and understanding the Quran. In the Hadith, you will see something else in the Hadith. Let me show you something in the Hadith. Let me show you something from the Hadith. Let me show you something. Let me show you. So just to show you, from the very Quran itself, Allah told the angel, I am going to make a viceroy on the earth. That means he's going to make a ruler, someone to rule the earth. And the angel even asked Allah the question like, are you going to create man to destroy and cause destruction and shed blood? And Allah actually tell the angel, they don't literally tell the angel, you don't know what you're talking about. So listen to this right here, just to show you what we are dealing with when we are dealing with Islam. Since we opened this kind of worm, we're just gonna finish it up here. And then, so let me show you what we are dealing with. Narrated Abu Hurairah. This is Sahih al-Bukhari 3409. Adam and Moses argue with each other. Moses said to Adam, you are Adam, whose mistake expelled you from paradise. Adam said to him, you are Moses, whom Allah select as his messenger and as the one to whom he spoke directly. Yet you blame me for a thing which has already been written in my fate before my creation. So Allah, Moses is actually saying, Allah is the one who caused all this. Because Allah write this thing in his fate. Allah gave him this task, literally, Allah gave him this task to perform, to be disobedient. But if you notice what the Quran verse is saying, this is why I said the Quran is a stupid book. It says, but man carried it. Surely he is wrongdoing and ignorant. So Allah write in the fate of Moses to be wrongdoing and ignorant. Allah gave Moses that fate. Allah is the one who wrote that in his fate. Moses, in another hadith, Moses actually says 40 years before he was created. Let me see if this one is there. And notice what Muhammad say here. Yeah, that's the one down there. The apostle said twice, so Adam overpowered Moses. By saying this, that Allah is the one who write this in his fate. That means Allah is the one who make him do this. Look at this again. Same hadith, but different way. Do you blame me for the action which Allah has written in my fate 40 years before my creation? So this was written about him 40 years before his creation, and he have no control over it. Moses is actually saying that I have no control over it. And Muhammad say, so Adam refuted Moses. Adam refuted Moses. The prophet Adam repeated the statement 3 times. So Adam refuted Moses. And what this is? Sahih al-Bukhari 66:14. Do you see these things? Not only that, my friends, if you go and look, I will sorry, that I did. Quran, Quran. So if you look at it, you will see something here. We don't have to go far to see that the Quran doesn't make any sense. And these people who claim they are interpreting the Quran does not make any sense either. Let me show you why. And then we'll close off. Remember, Allah said to the angel before the creation of man, Allah said to the angel, behold, thy Lord said to the angel, I will create a viceroy on the earth. They said, wilt thou place therein one who will make mischief therein and shed blood, while we do celebrate thy praise and glorify thy holy name? He said, I know what you know not. As if the angels were telling a lie. But when did this happen? So Allah create them to be a vice. This actually, I thought this said viceroy, but vicegerent. A vicegerent. I've never heard this word before. I know it means viceroy. I'm sure it means similar to viceroy. I've never seen that word before. Really and truly, I've never. A person exercising delegate power on behalf of a sovereign or ruler. A person regarded as an earthly representative of God or a god, especially the Pope. So look at it, man. It even make it worse, because Allah is saying that he's going to create his representative. But he's saying that the reason that man took Surah 33 verse 72, he's saying that the reason the man took this on himself is because he was ignorant. And according to the interpreter, do you notice how the interpreter interpreted that the man was ignorant and that's why he take it upon himself? I will show you in a minute. That the man was stupid and this is why he take it upon himself. Because he was stupid. So they take Islam on themselves because they're stupid. So let's look at what the word really means. An administrative deputy of a king or magistrate. So Allah was saying that he's going to make a deputy, administrative deputy on the earth. Somebody to represent him on the earth. And I know that viceroy, the word, I know I read it, that Allah was making a viceroy. A viceroy actually mean the same. Something similar. I know a viceroy is someone who, a ruler exercising authority in a colony on behalf of a sovereign. Same thing, viceroy. Same thing. A viceroy mean the same thing. So, but the funny thing about it is this. This is what's so funny about it. This is what's so funny about it. We offer the trust of the heaven and the earth and the mountains. We offer the trust to the heaven and the earth and the mountains, and they refused to carry it and were afraid. But man carried it. Surely he is wrongdoing, ignorant. And Allah is the reason. Allah is the one who chose a wrongdoing, ignorant person to carry this trust. The mountain refused it, and Allah did not do nothing to the mountain. He didn't punish the mountain. Did not punish the mountain for refusing it, but he punished man for refusing it. Do you see? Stupidity. The mountain have a brain to the point where the mountain can refuse it because they are afraid. And if man refused to carry it because he's afraid of it, Allah would punish him. Doesn't make any sense. Make no sense at all. But anyway, my people, I just want to say peace out, man. And God bless you, man. It's a more is criticizing Allah as well. He does. More actually make is God an idiot. Because none of these verses make any sense. And there is not only one verse in the Quran that doesn't make any sense. One verse in the Quran that doesn't make any sense. A whole bunch of verses, you could find them and realize like, whoa, this does not make any sense whatsoever. It doesn't add up. But anyway, my people have been on a long time. I've been on so long. Let me see. Doesn't make any sense. The flood verse doesn't make any sense. This verse here doesn't make any sense. So many verses in the Quran doesn't make any sense. And anything in the Quran that make the slightest of sense was already written. Was already said in the Bible. And was already said by other people of time, in time past. Nothing that Muhammad put in by himself make any sense. Nothing that exists from the time of Muhammad make any sense. Only the things that in the Quran that exist before Muhammad that we know he took from the Bible make any sense. The rest of it make no sense whatsoever. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. You look at a verse of the Quran and say, this is from the Quran, man. This is from the Quran. So I thought the guy was going to come on and explain to us, what is this talking about? But instead of that, he come on to rant and lie. come on to make up his own story and tell you. Look what the scholars say it means. What could this mean? We offer the trust to the heavens and the earth and the mountain, but they refused to carry it and were afraid of doing so. But man carried it. Man carried it. So Allah offer the viceroyship, the government of the earth, to the heavens, the earth, and the mountain. And this doesn't make sense. This in itself is not bad. Sorry. This in itself is not bad. But the problem we have here, because it could be read as saying that all it is saying is Allah told the mountain and the heaven and the mountain, the heaven and the earth to take care of themselves. But if you notice, the trust does not only involve taking care of yourself. There is a trust of religion. Religion, Islam, is a part of the trust. So it would even be a little fishy and be like, what is this talking about? But the part that make it totally stupid, even though it was already a little fishy, is this part. But they refuse to carry it and were afraid of doing so. So if God created the island, an island with mountain and the sky over it, and no one live on that island and no one ever ventured on that island, the island is taking care of itself. The island is taking care of itself. The heavens over it and the earth, which is the island, and the mountain on that island is taking care of itself because no one is there to care for it. If something is happening on that island where trees are dying, no one is there to help to stop the trees from dying. If the water is polluted on that island, no one is there. If if an animal got trapped in something on the island, no one is there to help that animal to escape. So the island is taking care of itself. So I could understand this, but what about, but they refuse to carry it? Anyway, my people, God bless you, man. Stay away from Islam, man. Nothing but nonsense. Total nonsense. And remember, all praises to the triune God, the God who is above all gods, the God who gives us wisdom to decipher things and to make sense of sensible things and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And Islam is nothing but pure nonsense. And remember to keep it Jesus when you're walking, 100% Jesus. And as I say, I don't have a problem when and look at this guy. He wants to be let in, and he just keeps saying, "Let me in, you fool. Let me in, you fool. Let me in." Like if somebody reads something like this, they would let you in. This guy. Let me in, your fool. Let me in, your fool. Let me in, your fool. That's how stupid they are. But anyway, that's in the private chat. Send me that in the private chat. Who care about that kind of stuff? But anyway, so I'll say, man, keep it Jesus where you go, man. And remember, stay far from Islam.